What's up, everybody? Welcome back once again to Hot Toys Hotline Live, episode 99. I hope everybody is doing well. We're almost there. I hope everybody's doing well on this fine Tuesday evening. I feel like for episode 100, I'm kind of feeling like maybe like a relaxed, like we'll talk about some news, but maybe like a Q&A stream. And it won't just be for me, it'll be for like other people on the panel. You guys can raise whatever questions you want. If you have questions about collecting, about stuff that is personal to us, maybe that'll be a fun thing to do, something a little different since we've never actually done a Q&A stream before. So I hope everybody's doing well, though. There's a lot of really, really exciting stuff this week. Hot Toys kind of came out with a bang, guys. I'm happy to say that list that we took a look at last week, it came true, guys. It really did. There's a lot of stuff on that list that came true. Actually, I think 6 out of 9 have come true. So I'm very happy when stuff like that happens. Obviously, guys, sometimes we share like leaks with you guys, and maybe it's very early information, or maybe it's some BS that was told to somebody. You never know. But yeah, that list was an absolute banger. So once again, shout out to my buddy 16 Lovers. Yeah, that's awesome. I love to see it. Love to see the excitement. You guys know I'm excited because there's a Predator on that list that got announced. And of course, come on, guys, we got the GOAT, the 92 Michael Keaton from Batman Returns. So a lot of exciting stuff tonight, guys. I want to say what's up to everybody on the panel. And we do have, at the very least, I know Mike will be joining us. I'm not sure about Sean, but usually Sean will just pop in when Sean pops in. So we'll probably see Sean tonight as well. But thank you so much for being here, legendary Lane Kramer, the Midnight Collector, the live unboxer, if you will. Lane Cam, too.
I've been doing that for like 3 years, 4 years, man. Not new to it, but hey, it's wonderful to be with you and here and Mr. Chris tonight. Of course, Hot Toys kind of said, hey, if you thought your money was safe, sorry, but you're wrong, because we're going to throw some mega, not only new stuff coming to us.
Lane, they saw me waving this around on screen the other day.
Yeah, and just said, ha, then they just Nelson, ha, ha.
They're like, oh, you want a buddy for him? You said you wanted a companion piece? No problem, we got you.
Yeah, they just Nelson, ha, ha, you on that one.
Yeah.
But, yeah, no, just they put out, and what I will say is we'll discuss tonight, just in the last, less than a week, I just love it with so much different stuff. It's not just one line or, Marvel or DC or Star Wars. It was a big diversity of stuff. So there's kind of you'll find something you might like. Now, you might find that bad because you're not trying to pre-order. Life's tough.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, we have it really rough buying $300 action figures, right, Lane? But Lane, before we get started saying what's up to everybody else in the chat, Lane, thanks for being here. We have to drop everything we're doing because there's a particular special someone in the chat, and that is Big Dog Panel 1. A friend of the channel and a moderator, and of course, we have Chris giving them the grand.
What you gonna do, brother? What you gonna
do? When Hot Toys Hotline goes live on you, I'll tell you what you're gonna do. You're gonna sip a little bit of whatever you're sipping on. You're gonna eat a little bit of what you're eating on, and then you're gonna watch the show, and we're gonna talk about TASM Spidey, Samurai Predator, Harley, and Dr. Doom. Woo! Legend.
Yes, sir. How's my audio, guys? I'm being told by the X-Man Supreme that my audio is crunchy. Does this sound fine to you guys?
Sounds fine to me.
Okay, so X-Man Supreme, I don't know. Maybe it was just happening for a split second, or maybe it's coming through weird on your end. Either way, what's up, Big Dog Pound? And thank you, Chris, as always, for sending him off right.
Now, I want to know when Chris has to choose his next world title. Is he going to be going for the World Championship and pretend he's Gunther, or is he going to become his own American Nightmare and be the man, the myth, the Cody Rhodes?
So I'm torn between either getting a tag team championship next or getting the gold universal. But I wouldn't put Cody's plates. I'd obviously put Roman's plates on it.
Yeah. Well, both championships are gorgeous.
So
you do? Oh, not the modern one?
Yeah, this
Not the
blue
gold
Universal has Roman side plates.
one? Yeah. No, I mean, not the gold one now that they replaced
Yeah,
it.
You wrestling guys. You wrestling guys or something else, man. I don't know what you guys are talking
Hey,
about. But...
all WWE has learned championship belts are like the money.
Hey,
Like that's where they
I
make the
love
money.
Jey Uso. This is the last thing I'll say. And he won that Intercontinental.
Yeet, man.
Super tempted to get that belt now and put his plates on it. So
if they come out with something that says yeet, if they got some yeet plates, you got to get that, man.
I wouldn't follow that person just because they say yeet. Anyways, what's up, Sneaky Figures? A good friend and a moderator on the channel and in the Facebook group. Great to see you as always, bro. Thank you so much for hanging out with us tonight.
His brother says no yeet.
Yeah. We got Figure It Out. What's up, Figure It Out? Thank you so much for being here, bro. I hope you're doing well. Figure It Out says hello, everybody. Hello to you. I hope you're doing well on this fine Tuesday evening. And finally, Christian has taken my advice. I saw in another chat the other day, and he finally updated his name. He is officially Christian Crosshair Cooper. So what's up, Christian Crosshair Cooper? Or Crosshair for short. That's what we're going to call you. Thank you so much for being here as always, bro. I hope you're doing well. Appreciate you tuning in. We got Valkyrie Magnus in the chat. What's up, bro? Great to see you. Always great to see you. I appreciate the support, by the way, on Instagram and everything else. You've been really showing a lot of love to me lately, so I appreciate you very much so. Valkyrie Magnus says, good evening, guys. It is a good evening. It's a great time because we're talking about Hot Toys tonight. We're talking about InArt tonight. We're talking about Jazz Inc. There's a little bit of everything for everybody, so going to be some really exciting stuff to talk about tonight. But thank you so much for being here, bro. Let's see. We got Moose. What's up, Moose? A channel member and a good friend. Moose says, hello, community of collectors. I've been plundering lately. Yeah, Moose posted a photo on Facebook of just this massive haul that would make anyone jealous, whether you have the figures or not. So congrats on that, Moose. That was quite the photo. And thank you so much for being here, as always, my friend. Of course, we already mentioned him, but we got the X-Man Supreme, a moderator and a good friend in the chat. X-Man says, you're wrong. And that's from Hot Toys, specifically Howie. That's specifically from Howie. But thank you so much for being here, X-Man. It was great to catch you live the other day during that fun Batman discussion. It's always fun when you have to choose your favorite actor of something because it always gets a little heated, but in good fun. It was a fun chat over on Geo's channel, the movie canon. Of course, Big Dog Pan is here. He says, calling all hotties, let's unite and smash that like button. Yes, guys, if you haven't already, please consider dropping a like on the stream. I would very much appreciate it. And it looks like a lot of people have heard my mic being a little crunchy. I appreciate you guys for letting me know that. So whatever was causing it, I'm glad to hear it was fixed now because that would bother me as well. Figure It Out says, I just opened my 89 Batman 2.0. Don't mind the texture on the torso, but the legs are effed up with the big indents. Yeah, I mean, the texture does bother me a little bit. It doesn't ruin the figure for me by any means. I have considered maybe swapping the suit to the 89 1.0, but I don't know if I'm going to go that far. I will be getting a custom cowl and everything for it, but yeah, not sure how far I'll go with that. But I still really like the figure. I think it looks awesome. It's just a little inaccurate here and there, but congrats on that. That's awesome. We got Mike Thrawn's office, a channel member, a good friend, and a panel member. Mike says hello all. Hopefully Mike will be joining us soon. I don't think he messaged me on Instagram saying he wasn't going to make it, so I think he's going to be here. So if we're graced with his presence, hopefully we'll see him soon. We got Jose. Jose was there the other day for the Batman discussion, too. I was cracking up, dude. I just kept throwing stuff in the chat, just hoping Jose would catch it. But Jose, what's up, bro? Great to have you here as always. Appreciate you hanging out with us, and we'll have to get you on the stream soon, man. I would love to have you on because I think you're a fun time, and yeah, it was just so fun. Like I said, that chat with Gio, I love Batman, so I always love chatting Batman, whether it's an opinion that lines up with mine or not. It's always a fun time, right? It's like when you're talking about your favorite Star Wars movie. Sometimes people don't agree on that, and it's always fun to have that conversation. But thank you so much for being here, bro. We got Clinton Martin in the chat. What's up, dude? Clinton Martin says, howdy, folks. Well, howdy to you. I hope you're doing well on this fine Tuesday evening, and thank you so much for hanging out with us. And we got Luke Christian in the chat. Everybody's here tonight. Luke Christian, what's up, dude? So great to see you as always, and I really appreciate you hanging out with us tonight. Let's see who else we got. Guys, I'm just going through real quickly. I said real quickly, and then we'll get started, of course. Thick Bantha Boy in the house. He says, skeet, skeet. Lane says, yeet. He's always got something for you, Lane. He's always got something for you. Oh, Lane, you're muted. Let me unmute you. There you go. Oh, I can't because you chose to mute yourself, it says. Well, there we go. He said, yep.
Yeet, skeet, skeet.
Well, there you go. I hope that made your night, Thick Bantha Boy. Speak of the devil, we got Geo, the movie canon here. I will actually be on Geo's channel on Sunday, and this coming Sunday.
Talking with the wife about it.
And I specifically told Geo to ask Chris to come on with me, just because I thought it'd be fun. He was like, actually, I was already going to ask him. I was already thinking about it. So,
yeah,
guys, he's put on the spot now. He has no choice. So,
well, after this,
he's going to go beg on his knees with his tech deck in his hand. But Geo, a channel member and a good friend, thank you so much for being here, bro. West Michigan Collector. Well, I got to say, I think you're my favorite person in the chat tonight because of that profile picture, because he does have the GOAT Spider-Man in his profile picture. And, of course, we all know who that is. And it is not Andrew Garfield. It is Tobey Maguire. So, of course, guys, those are fighting words. But thank you so much for being here, West Michigan. I hope you're doing well. Appreciate you hanging out with us tonight. And yes, Mike will be here soon. Love to see it. Love to hear it. We can't have a stream without Mike. He's got to be here with us, right? It's just not the same. Let's see. Finally, some Chocolate Man news. Yeah, for those of you guys, I told Chris, don't get too excited for the news. I'm canceling that wedding gift, dude. So you're not getting the...
I swear, you'll never see Noah ever, or me. I'll move far away from you.
Yeah, so
I won't be on stream no more. Connor will ruin it for everybody.
I've been messing with Chris because I pre-ordered him the Chocolate Man from Mars Toys as a wedding gift, and I just keep telling him
so I
to
didn't do
cancel
it. So he's like got the thread, and he's like always doing this to me, like about to cut it.
Yeah,
He's
sorry,
like,
they're sold out,
Remember
dude.
that? I pre-ordered that, so if I cancel it, you don't get it.
Yeah, Kit canceled my order. I saw that the other day, and I was like, dude, this was a wedding gift, Kit. Why did you do that?
All right, me and Kit are about to have a conversation.
Yes, Toby is on top, absolutely. And then who did I miss? There's no way I missed Boba Fettuccine. Boba Fettuccine says, hello, my friends. What's up, dude? So great to have you here, as always. I hope you're doing well. I think that's everybody. As always, guys, if I missed you, I will try to read your comments as they pop through. Pedro Lopez is here. What's up, Pedro? That's a very revealing profile picture there, Pedro. What's up, dude? Was that X23? Was that Daphne Keene in your profile picture? That's what it looked like. Anyways, guys, we're gonna start it off. With one that I know Chris is excited to talk about, and that is we got a TASM 1 Andrew Garfield Spider-Man announcement, a 2.0. And if you guys remember last week when we were taking a look at our list, we weren't quite sure what the figure was going to be. It said No Way Home ? On the list that we had. And it ended up being TASM 1. I'll start by saying, guys, I'm not a huge fan of this suit. I never have been. I always kind of felt it was kind of ugly. And that's like nothing to do particularly with the Hot Toys announcement, although I will share my thoughts on that. I just never have been a big fan of this suit. I feel like his TASM 2 suit is just way better. So immediately, this was a no for me, just seeing that it was the TASM 1 suit. But then, like, and I'm not saying I'm going to pick this up, but there are some redeeming qualities that I personally like with this figure. I actually really do like this head sculpt. I've seen some people say they feel like the head sculpt is too big. I don't know if I would say it's too big. Is it 100% Andrew Garfield? I don't think it's like their strongest head sculpt personally, but I still think it looks pretty decent. I do like the cuts and everything on the face. I think that adds a lot of realism to it. One thing that I kind of was a little let down by, I feel like the body should have been a little bit more lanky and slender, because, you know, Andrew Garfield had that really lanky, like slender, like teenage look, especially in the first film. He was, you know, Chris and I were talking about this. He was very young in that first TASM film, so I feel like they should have made him a little bit more slender. Obviously, that's a bit of a nitpick, but the one thing that I don't like about this figure, guys, is this mask. Again, Hot Toys continues to excel on the video game suits, and then they're hit or miss on the live action stuff. I don't understand it. I get maybe the web patterns are a bit more complex on some of these live action suits, but that's not to say that the suits aren't complex on the video game versions. I just feel like, generally speaking, they do a better job on the video game stuff lately. This mask, you know, the way that the lines kind of curve up the face, that kind of awkward intersection in the middle, the slightly off placement of the lenses, it's just, I don't know, guys. It's unfortunate because they continue to do this with these live action suits, It's like one after the other. We hope they'll fix stuff. Now, I will say, the one credit I will give them, the neck seam on this is a lot better. Poor Tobey Maguire got done super dirty. The neck seam on that one is so noticeable. You can see it from way far back. So I do have some complaints about this one. But once again, I do like the head sculpt. And obviously, if you get this deluxe version, this diorama base is absolutely awesome. I think this is sweet, and it's multifaceted. You could, honestly, if you wanted to, you could use this with, like, the Bespin Luke. You could make it work with him. Obviously, it's not the same thing, but I think it's close enough from far away. I think that'd be a pretty cool way to use that antenna. A lot of people are probably like, damn, that's actually not a bad idea. But yeah, I feel like it could work for Bespin Luke, and you don't have to go out and buy that antenna, so... And also, another thing I told Chris I love the skateboard in the backpack. That's very, like, Peter Parker-esque, so I love that they included that. Again, I'm torn on this one, guys. I really don't like the suit, particularly the mask. I'm not a big fan of those gold lenses with this suit. And I just think they messed up that web pattern once again. And obviously, this is a prototype, but for Spider-Man specifically, I'm not going to hold my breath for changes because historically, they haven't changed too much. When it comes to the final product. So awesome head sculpt, not perfect, but it's pretty awesome. One more thing, and then I'll pass it on. I'll move it on to Chris. I like that they added that little bandage as well. I think that's a pretty nice touch. That kind of adds an extra bit of layer of realism. Let me see if there's right here you can see it. That little, like, bandage on his leg. I think that's pretty cool. That's a nice added bit of realism. But yeah, I'm already kind of biased towards this, guys, because I don't really like the suit in general, so maybe I'm being a little overly critical. You guys can let me know in the comments. But Chris, we'll pass it to you because Chris is the complete opposite side of the spectrum. Chris loves TASM 1, and Andrew Garfield is his favorite Spider-Man. So, Chris, there may be some of that inner fan calling to you, even with maybe some minor issues here and there that makes you want to consider picking this one up. For me, like I said, the biggest thing for me with this one are the accessories. As of right now, it's a no for me. Maybe if I could get the accessories by themselves, that would be cool. But yeah, as of right now, it's a no for me. But I want to hear your thoughts on it because I know this is like your favorite Spider-Man and you really love this film. So
yeah, so I'm like very conflicted with it because it's like one of those things that I didn't think that they were gonna do right out the bat. I am kind of glad that they didn't do the No Way Home one and they did this instead. Even though the suit's not my favorite, kind of like you said, the TASM 2 suit's way better. This one I still think like has enough poppy color to look good in the display. And seeing this movie for the first time, like I know we like Tobey, or I grew up with like Tobey's era of Spider-Man, and while that's all cool, I just strictly remember this coming out and you getting like that POV of swinging as if you were Spider-Man and joining him on screen and like him hitting the Empire State Building with the glass. Like it's just a pretty cool representation of how his life would be. And like you said, you get the backpack and the skateboard and stuff, and he did so much with that throughout the film that it just screams like that Peter Parker aura. You touched on the bandage. Like literally there's so much with this set. It kind of touches on every single point of the movie. You got like the skateboard and stuff from when he was still learning to use his new powers and stuff.
And I'll say this, Chris, really quick. The skateboard is actually in scale this time because the one they made for Pennywise, the wheels and everything were like terribly out of scale. So
I mean, I got real wooden tech decks if I really got to do it. But
yeah. I think it looks pretty good though. It's definitely an improvement. But
no, it does. It looks good. But and then you know the whole battle damage face sculpt, I think that's a really nice touch. I think if I were to get this, I probably would have that, seeing as like the TASM 2 suit is more of my favorite. I don't exactly... I like that they did the diorama, but I'm also sitting here thinking, like, why did we get the lizard with the TASM 2 one, even though they were sold separate? I feel like that could have been this and then something else for TASM 2, like a Rhino one or something, even though that was like a small thing at the end. I just feel like that's kind of a missed opportunity there, because now if I get this, I'm gonna be so confused. Do I want him like fighting Lizard, which he did in this film, or do I? Because those go together. That diorama and Lizard, that's what they fought on, like that building, the Oscorp building. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I like it. I like the camera. Like it comes with a decent amount of stuff for me to be super interested in. I just don't know. Like I've told you, if I would want like a duplicate Spider-Man, and if I was ever going to, I don't know if I'd want the same guy, but that is my guy as far as Spider-Man goes. So I'm like very torn with it, but I don't hate the suit as much as you do.
Yeah. I do not fear the dark side as you do.
And even though they did the 1.0, they did this before, it doesn't come nearly as much, like with as much stuff as this one does. And that in itself, I think, killed that one. You said you don't like the yellow lenses.
I can't stand them.
You could swap this out for those.
Right. No, yeah, I mean, like, and I'll be clear on this. That's not the deal breaker for me. Like, it's kind of like
it's a little messed up in the middle there.
Yeah, and that's why I wanted to zoom in, because I wanted to hear your thoughts on that, because I don't know, dude. This to me,
and does that look sculpted? That doesn't really look like a fabric mask either. It looks sculpted to me.
I will say it. I don't know. To me, I think it is the same material. Like if we look at it in different lighting, I think it looks like the same material. Because usually when you have a sculpted pairing with that like suit material, it's a bit off color on the sculpt.
Yeah, true.
So it's probably just pulled really tight so you can't tell. Because look, there's kind of a dimple right there you could see. I think it is actually material, but still, yeah, man, I don't know. They need to.
That suit was like, it wasn't fabric like the TASM 2. It was almost like, I mean, it was spandex, but it had a weird look in the movie. Like they called it spandex when he was creating it, or maybe that was no, he was scrolling saying everything is spandex, but it looked more rubbery almost in the thing. So I don't know.
It's interesting, dude. A lot of people are making comments about the sculpt. Like Pedro said, Garfield looks too old. Yeah, Thick Bantha Boy said he has an afro.
Nah, I can. So I do think he needs to be a little bit younger for this film, but I think it looks like Andrew through and through. Like it doesn't look like anybody else.
I think this is better than the No Way Home sculpt, personally.
Yes, I would agree with that, and also the way he looks in this sculpt, it kind of reminds me like where his mask is taken off and they got all the guns pointed at him. He kind of turns around and the spotlight's on him or whatever. That's what that sculpt looks like it's based off of. But
we got Yalcha Mike here, dude. What's up, dude?
What's up? As soon as I come on stream, a train goes by. So pardon me. But what's up, fellas? Carry on. I'm enjoying the Spidey combo. Yeah, great to see you guys.
The worst Spider-Man, right? I'm just trying to get Chris riled up.
More of a TASM 2 suit, like you guys were saying. But yeah.
No, me too. That's what I'm saying. But like this first suit, like I don't hate it as much as Connor does. Like it doesn't bug me. I think it's different and unique, like because you don't really see other Spider-Man.
It just looks
Miles Morales or like any of those characters doing weird suit or like the video game stuff. This
suit to me is like someone like cosplaying on Hollywood Boulevard. That's what this suit looks like to me, like a cosplay.
Kick him off his own stream.
What's up, Blake Moore? Blake Moore says, "Let's go." What's up, guys? What's up, dude? I feel like a lot of people aren't huge fans of this suit. I feel like, I mean, granted, Chris, you're not like gushing over it either, but no. I'm glad that I'm not alone. Like to me, it's probably like one of the worst like hero suits, if you will, because obviously like you got like the black and gold suit for Tom Holland, like stuff like that. To me, looks pretty mediocre. But yeah, Chris, apparently this comes with an LE free tech deck. Everybody's commenting on the tech. Baby. You got people going on the tech decks.
If it doesn't come with metal trucks, I'm gonna be disappointed.
I don't think it will. If it's anything like the Pennywise skateboard
was plastic too.
Yeah, Marty's skateboard was pretty good though. I actually think they did a good job on that. Blake says Garfield's my guy, but man, this mask is a rough one for me. The suit is enough to really like it, but the mask is tough to get on board. Yeah, like I said, with the live action stuff lately, they've just been screwing up big time on those masks, dude. I don't know what it is, but yeah, rough. Tobey Maguire got screwed majorly. That figure disappointed me so much, man.
I liked his personality in this suit, though, too. Like, he had that humor when he was hunting for the killer of his uncle, and then, like, had that dark turn. Like, he brought the suit to life for me. Like, at first I was like, oh, what the... That's not really the right suit. I don't know. It just... Something about it just fits him.
Yeah. Like I said, Chris, I might have to steal this base just to use for my Bespin Luke to hang off of.
Bro, it's not a weather vane. The weather vane is like just skinny.
I'm going to turn it upside down and just consider it a weather vane.
It's definitely does not look the same.
And I'll just turn it upside down and call it a weather vane, dude. That's all this set's good for, I guess. Blue Tattoo is in the house. What's up, Blue Tattoo? I hope you're doing well. It was great to chat with you the other night during Geo stream. Thank you so much for tuning in. We appreciate you being here with us. Jose says this is technically the Amazing Spider-Man 2 head sculpt because it wasn't No Way Home license. Yeah, it's interesting. The licensing for Garfield stuff has been so crazy. Like, look how long it took them to show us that Garfield, because we thought they were going to try to get the licensing for No Way Home. They're like, sorry, guys, here's the Amazing Spider-Man one. Sucks, man. Sucks how that worked out, but I am happy for those. Yeah, I mean, I'm happy for those that are interested in this one, because I know the original one looks pretty crappy now compared to this one. The body's pretty rough looking. So I'm happy for everybody who wanted this one. Sorry I'm being so negative about it. But again, that's really not as much toward the figure, even though there are things I don't like about the figure. It's mainly the suit itself. I was just never a fan of it. It just looks cheesy to me. But Chris, thanks for sharing your thoughts. And everybody in the chat, I'll continue to read your comments. But Lane, I want to jump to you. You've been awfully quiet during this, so I feel like you're not super excited about this either.
Well, I'm just not a Garfield fan. I don't like either of the Garfield movies at all. Like,
Chris is like,
move on. Leave it on a positive note.
No, sorry, I'm not a fan of the movies at all. I like the first one that this suit is for much better than the second one. But I actually think the figure looks decent and stuff. But like, I'm not like you. I'm just not a fan of this suit. I really like the skateboard accessory and all that stuff that comes with it. I actually love that. Obviously, diorama base, I'm just kind of whatever, because I'm not a huge fan of dioramas in the first place. I actually like the Garfield head sculpt, though, pretty good. Yeah. But even on this one, I can still see the seam line, which is what like sent me running in for the hills from like the Toby last year.
It's not nearly. You can still see it, but
it's not as bad.
We got to give them some credit. They have improved it. They have.
It's not nearly as bad as the Garfield Amazing Spider-Man 2, or really I think the Toby Spider-Man was the worst. But
do I have Toby on my desk so I can remind us how bad this one was in comparison? Look, I'll show you guys, just so the people who are watching can see. Now take a good hard look at Garfield here. Now look at Toby's next seam. Look at that lump.
Yeah.
So they have improved it.
People complained about it being like, what do you expect them to do? That's kind of their only
way. But
Chris,
I still think...
I'll say this, Chris. They have a ton of money for R&D. They can do something else.
Like what?
I don't know. I'm not. I don't. Chris.
Pop it off.
Chris, I buy the figures. I don't get paid to design them. I don't know.
All right, then. But you can't complain about it.
Oh, I absolutely can complain.
Go back to the split sculpt.
But like I compare this even with comparison to the Final Suit Blue one, like the Holland one there. For that is actually better, I think, than this. And that's an old, now quote, older figure than this one. But I mean, to me, I don't know. Because the hair is kind of such puffing out so much, he looks like a racer head.
That's too all over it.
But it feels like the head is almost kind of too wide a little bit because everything's sculpted, including the hair. So it's I don't know. It looks like the top of a brush, like, little brush and everything you would use to like makeup brush or something is what I keep thinking when I look at the top of his head and just that style. I'm not meaning to be this thing. I think the actual head sculpt showing off Garfield is fine. Like I still, I mean, I don't think it's great, but I don't think there's ever been
Lane, like I said, a lot of it for us is the fact that we're not a huge fan of this film in particular. Like it's, you know, I like Garfield was very much redeemed a lot for me in No Way Home because I was never a big fan, and it wasn't his portrayal; it was the actual plot, like the Rhino, for example, and Electro. You know,
it's not Garfield because Garfield's like Peter Parker is really engaging, I think, and all his stuff with Gwen, like for movie, for like movie relationships, Gwen and Garfield's Peter Parker is by far the best one. Like they actually feel like kind of a goofy couple at points, which I never bought really with the first one with Mary Jane, Kirsten Dunst. And
I loved her.
Oh boy, she. How her character was handled, but
that's so funny. Chris and Justin, what's up, by the way, Justin? Chris and I were just making jokes about this the other day.
What?
You still, what was it? What were we saying to each other? You still locked in?
Oh, yeah.
We're making social network. Yeah.
He was like, you better lawyer up or whatever, because I'm coming back.
Yeah.
I'm not just coming back for 3% or whatever he says.
I'm coming back for everything.
I am glad if you're this Garfield Spider-Man fan, I think you can finally get what is a pretty it's going to end up being a good figure of him, whether this is your favorite suit or not, like you like the SM21 more or not. I think the proportions to me look okay. I think it's also just because of he's a part of like this trio, and then obviously kind of, you know, including last week for Batman. In less than 5 days, we had those 4 figures, and he's just kind of sandwiched in all with those two. You know, he's fighting for kind of attention, which maybe if he was announced, like there was one other figure, or there was, you know, a normal week where one came out and then he was the announcement, kind of, where he had that breath and space to breathe a little bit, where I think maybe he might have some more attention, but I just think he's kind of buried, you know, with the other stuff.
I agree. And like, you know, you announced this alongside Doctor Doom, like
comic Doctor Doom, Samurai Predator, and Batman Returns Batman.
Yeah, I mean,
less than 5 days,
and that's nothing against Garfield, because there's a lot of huge fans. I mean, you could see in the chat, there's a lot of people that are big fans of Garfield. So it's tough, right? There's a lot of tough competitors. So, but I'm kind of in the general consensus of I much prefer the TASM 2 suit. But again, I can appreciate like those who have the first version. This is definitely going to be a big upgrade over that. I really do think they need to start working on these masks a little bit more. Like I said, that mask to me looks really rough, and the lenses being able to swap don't quite fix it for me. But I forgot to say what's up to Kaiju Daddy. Long time no see. I know you've been wanting me to switch days, but never. But what's up, dude? It's great to have you here as always. So glad to see you can catch us live for once, because I know the timing is really rough for you.
Hey, real quick, I wanted to mention something before going to Mike. This isn't related directly to Garfield, but if anybody is interested, the RSVP for the Samurai Predator has gone up on Sideshow.
Hell yeah. So moderators, one of you, if you could be so kind to drop that.
Sorry, I just wanted someone to just link me.
No, that's exciting, dude. That's very exciting. Everybody's got a kid and play hairdo. What's up, Safel? Great to see you, man. Great to see you. Dude, it's so funny. Whenever we start talking about our favorites, whatever, it just starts the conversation in the chat. I love Jose because he's like as passionate as I am about these characters and these figures, really. So it's so awesome reading everybody's comments about who they prefer. And Safel, it's great to see you as always. I hope you're doing well. But Lane, I think we're kind of on the same page on this one. I don't think it's a complete fail of a figure. I think it's still very exciting. Whether I'm going to be picking it up or not, I still think it's very exciting. And look who mods. Chris is technically a mod too, but Chris beat you to the punch. There is the RSVP for the Samurai Predator. Go RSVP now, because that figure is. I'm gonna be crying when we look at that one. But moving over to you. Speaking of Predator, moving over to you, Yalcha Mike. What are your thoughts on this TASM 1? And you know, we talked about on stream last week all these suspected leaked figures that were coming out, and obviously a lot of them came true. And we thought that this might be possibly another No Way Home version. That's what was discussed before, but we got a TASM 1 version. So What are your thoughts, dude? Do you think that Hot Toys is continuing their streak of live action inaccuracies on a lot of these suits? And are you going to pick this one up? I know it's a loaded question, but
Yeah, well, I'm not picking it up, and I'm not gonna like rag on the figure too much. I see what Chris is saying, and I think if you're a fan of the film, and you don't, I think why not? I mean, I think they did a good job with it. It still has a carryover, the same issues like the neck and stuff like that people have. Pedro always gets me every time, man.
We could finally use that when it's when it's accurate.
Yeah, but I think the sculpt looks good. I think the suit looks cool, regardless of whether I like prefer that suit or not, which I don't. I was really happy when they went with like the McFarlane. They went from this, which was like hyper stylized, to okay, how close can we get to the comic for the next movie? And I think that was really cool. Yeah. So that would be my preference. But yeah, base is cool. I do have a question. It's been a while since I've seen this movie, so this might be like some kind of look or accessory that I've forgotten about. But it looks like in some pictures he's got like webbing on his right thigh. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Oh, you're talking about the patch?
Is it? Yeah. Did he patch his suit up or something?
Yeah, he was bleeding. Yeah.
Okay. I mean, see, like stuff like that. Like that's a cool.
Like that. Yeah, I think that's a cool detail, and that adds some like life to it that I think maybe some other Spidey figures don't have.
Yeah.
I think that's pretty cool.
I like this pose here. I think posed the right way, it can look really cool. And yeah, the suit was like a kind of a disservice.
Oh,
to
Spider-Man's up too. Okay.
Even like his frame, because he's a tall, lanky guy. There's a reason why superheroes are designed with trunks or a belt. It's to break up the body, and not having that, I think, suffered a bit, especially considering his height and his build. Yeah. But like they corrected it in the next movie. Corrected it in my opinion. But it's one of those figures like it's not for me, but I don't think it's the worst looking figure I've seen. I think they did a good job with it.
Not at all. I would agree.
And for guys like Chris or whomever might be interested in this, I'm happy for him because like that shot looks cool, man. Like I see what you mean, and that, again, the carryover, like that scene.
This is when it looks cool for me,
but it still looks cool. Like it looks cool from like.
Yeah, it's just the mask, dude.
And like, mask, yeah.
The gold lenses to me, it's just like it reminds me of Toby, and I'm like, oh, but Toby's suit was so much better than this one.
Yeah. But I'm not going to drone on about it. I think it's cool for those who are excited about it, and yeah. Chris, you said you're picking it up.
He's got to, bro. If he doesn't, I told him he has to. He's a massive fan of Garfield. He has to.
So I think they went the extra mile though with the camera. The strap on the camera looks beautiful.
Yeah, it reminds me of the classic Spidey.
I don't want all that stuff.
Yeah, like exactly.
And the diorama too, like, and this
web piece is cool too. I love
that
web
piece. My favorite suit in the world, but it pops. Like
it does. And if you're a Spider-Man collector,
hey, but Gwen and Miles are the exception. They're allowed to have sneakers.
And I like the skateboard too. I think they did a great job with the weathering on that.
Yeah, and this, guys, this is a great question. Thank you, Seyful, because we did not address this. That's ridiculous. That is so stupid.
Good point.
And imagine they did that with that comic Spider-Man, and you only got those ugly chrome lenses, and you didn't get the other ones. Dude, I would have been so pissed.
Right. That's a really good point, man.
Yeah, I think that's ridiculous for them to do that. Mm-hmm. Especially for someone who, may have gotten this figure, and then, they decided to not include the silver lenses at all, or you tried to get the special edition, and maybe, like, your bills weren't right at the time, so you couldn't get into the timed window. It would suck. It would suck because then you're stuck with the gold lenses and you might not be a fan of that look. So that was dirty on Hot Toys' part. But, I think it's probably going to be a timed window. Like, they do like the 14-day window on Sideshow. So hopefully everybody's money's right where you can drop the pre-order on this one if you want it and get the special edition stuff. But yeah, I think that was pretty dirty. But to be fair, if you think of it from a business perspective, it's pretty smart at the same time because they're going to get people to get those pre-orders in because they're like, well, shit, I don't want those gold lenses. You know what I mean? So it's smart and dirty at the same time.
One other thing I want to say, like, I really like how because of the, I guess the weather vane, we're going to call it, you can kind of hide, like you can kind of distract from the stand. So you can get them in like a hanging position. You don't notice the.
This is a dope pose.
Yeah,
this is a dope pose. I like how the hands just kind of like resting against there, like he's stuck to it. That's pretty cool. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Brick, dude. That's what. Even though I'm not a massive fan of the suit, I'm a huge fan of all the accessories. I love the base, love the skateboard and the backpack because that's like very Peter Parker-esque, and then you get the camera as well. So it's like really cool accessories with this one, if anything. Yeah. I mean, but hey, like I said, guys, anybody who's picking this up, I'm very happy for you. It's just not for me. Like I said, I may be tempted by the accessories down the line. Maybe I could find them separate from this figure. Who knows? But as of right now, it's not going to be for me. But like Mike said, I think Mike said it well. It's not the worst figure that's ever been made. I think it's still a pretty solid figure. It just has some inaccuracies that need to be addressed. And I don't know if you guys knew this, but the Sideshow version comes with Heelys. I don't know if you guys caught that, but thanks, Justin, for reminding us. But, guys, we're going to move on to one that, holy shit, guys. Like, talk about you wake up in the middle of the night, you know, because that's how it is for us in the U.S., most of us who are on the East Coast, and you're like, what the? This is me. I'm like, hold up a sec. What? And at first I was like, is this a Hono announcement? But no. Guys, we have a Dr. Doom well in advance to, you know, Robert Downey Jr.'s portrayal of Victor Von Doom. This is amazing, guys. This is completely caught us off guard, and the positivity surrounding this announcement was amazing to see because we've all been rooting for a Doom. Dude, I would have been fine if they did a Fantastic Four Doom from the crappy movies that we all watched when we were younger, you know? And to see this you know, close to comic accurate version here with some really cool accessories. The one thing, if I was going to complain about one thing, I wish it was diecast. It's the one thing I'll complain about. I thought that this would be a good contender for some diecast parts, but then you flip the coin on the other side and you're like, well, shit, this is probably going to be pretty fairly priced. So, you know, I think I'm fine with that. I think I'm content with it not being diecast. I think the paint job looks pretty damn good for it not being diecast. This base is awesome. I'll be honest with you. I feel like the special edition for this, though, is essential. And I'm going to show you guys why. Like, come on now. That's badass, dude. I absolutely love that. Those deep blue eyes underneath the mask, that's cool. I feel like it's essential. This particular mask right here is badass, dude.
I like the weathering on it, too.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
You know, looks like a little splash of, like, darker paint on there.
Right. And then, like, I'm guessing that this is either a very stiff material like the Palpatine hood, or maybe it's wired. I hope it's wired. That would be obviously a huge plus. But guys, I mean, he looks really good. I mean, I don't know about y'all, but and when I was talking to Chris, I was like, dude, like, I feel like if you're like a big Marvel guy, I feel like you can't pass on this. I was like pleading with Chris. I'm like, dude, look, hear me out. Just buy it now. Wait to see what they do with the Victor Von Doom suit with RDJ later. And if you like that one more, just sell this one. Like, because, dude, this is like the ideal look, I think. I think Hot Toys made the right decision here. Yeah, I think
this one
really
is
good, man.
This one they literally, like, especially even with the flags and everything, it's like they literally took the Sideshow premium format that came out like a year and a half ago. They literally shrunk it down from a quarter scale to a 6 scale and turned it into an action figure. Like, it is almost exactly like they literally, if you go look at that, it's like this thing. Like, Hot Toys looked at that and say, hey, we can make that better and make it posable.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think this thing's gorgeous. This is like a perfect figure, whether you like it or not. Just like from an analysis point of view, like it just like, looks,
dude,
like
right,
all the details.
Oh, that pose right there is mean, bro.
Yeah, and like you were saying, those flags hanging down, it's just so imposing, which is how he's supposed to look. And the hood looks like it really lays nicely, like you said.
To me, this sets a high bar for just the RDJ figure.
Yeah,
it might be coming.
Well, that's a whole interesting other take on it, right? It's like, why did we? Yeah, the chainmail looks great.
Chainmail's badass.
But it's such a random figure to announce right now. You almost wonder if Marvel was like, hey, we want to really get people excited about Doom in general. You know, anybody want to make some Doom stuff?
Dude,
you know,
I think this was, I think this was genius to announce at this time, just to drive up the hype even more. And what a, you know, these figures are technically celebrating the 11th anniversary of the Secret Base. So what a great way to kind of start it off with a bang. Yeah, this was so unexpected, guys. No one could have expected this, because all of us were like, sweet, I'll hold off on that third party one because they're going to do one when RDJ becomes Doom. None of us expected this. Maybe some people were astute and were like, hey, you know, Hono's probably going to do a Dr. Doom. I agree, Mike. They made all the right decisions here. Apart from it not being diecast, which is a minor nitpick, I'm very excited actually now to see the price. if this guy is like sub 300, that's going to be pretty freaking amazing. I don't know if he will be because he comes with a decent amount of like swap out parts, but man.
Yeah, and I hadn't realized, like, I guess those are wired, the flags, because
it looks like it. Yeah. The one thing is that I wish they would have done is maybe like a throne as opposed to this stupid little base they included. I mean, it's not stupid, but it's kind of like reminds me of the Batman Returns base.
Yep.
But a throne would have been like that. That would have set it off. That would have been really cool. But nevertheless, awesome. Dude, like, keep doing that.
You hope he scales well with the Hono figures, right?
Yeah, and like, dude, this shot of him like holding the Darkhold, and he has the hand to hold the Darkhold, dude. This is sweet too. How the hand like kind of pierces through this effect.
I love that. Yeah,
it's just really nicely done. I'm very curious to see how many people. I definitely got to do a poll for this one because I'm very curious to see how many people are picking this one up because I feel like this is one that a lot of people are probably going to go for, even if you're not like a big Doom fan per se, you don't know much about him. This is one of those figures that like draws you in because he's one of those characters like, oh shit, that's Dr. Doom. You know what I mean? It's like it draws you in and it makes you want to learn about him and makes you consider picking him up just because he looks cool. You know? So.
Oh yeah, I agree. I'd like to see that effect without like Photoshop over it. You know? Because
I agree.
Like it looks really cool, but I want to see what it actually looks like.
That's true. That's true. Sometimes they overly do it, but nevertheless, dude, I think he looks awesome. Like I said, they went really hard on the special edition exclusive accessories on this one, and I feel like that's kind of essential.
Those are movable eyes, right?
I think so.
I'm pretty sure they...
I feel like they should be because the way the mask removes, it probably just comes off the front of the face. It's probably rolling eyes. Yep, 2 styles of mask with separate rolling eyeballs. Yeah, like I said, the only thing that it's missing is that it wasn't die cast, but I could live with that. I could totally live with that. Save me some money, and I think he looks awesome. I'm very excited for this one. I will absolutely be picking this one up. I'm waiting for Sideshow's pre-order to go live. So, guys, there's been some confusion with these pre-orders, you know, especially when it came to the Samurai Predator, because that one has a limited quantity for the special edition. As far as I know right now, and when we get to the Samurai Predator, I'll explain that one. The TASM 1 Spidey and the Dr. Doom, we do have links that were popped in the chat. Those will be going on Sideshow, and they most likely will have a 14-day timed window for the special edition version of it. So they've done that recently a lot, and they've done it in the past. There's just a window of 14 days for that special edition version with those extra accessories, and you have 14 days, and then that's a hard cutoff. After those 14 days, they cut it off, so... Make sure you RSVP so you can get notified on your text or whatever, or in your email when they go live. But just keep an eye on that. Let me see. I'm going to address some comments. And if anybody, if any of you guys, after I address a couple comments, want to jump in and share any thoughts, you know, we're just kind of having an open discussion. I just want to hear people's thoughts. And I did put up a poll, by the way, guys. I want to hear your thoughts on Dr. Doom. Who's picking this one up? Let's see. And by the way, what's up, Brick Artemis? I was in the middle of saying something when you joined. What's up, bro? Great to have you here as always. And yeah, maybe I will get that skateboard to go with all of my Predator figures. I guess like that's like all I have at this point because I buy so many. Duck Collector says, by the way, what's up, dude? Duck Collector says we will get another Doom. Well, absolutely. I mean, obviously, we're kind of guaranteed one. When we're talking about RDJ and Hot Toys, obviously they have a great relationship because they've made trillions of figures of him. So we'll certainly get that RDJ version, and that was like Chris's reason for kind of waiting and seeing. Me, and I kind of told you this, Chris, me personally, I'm like, this is Doom right here. So for me, I'm happy to pre-order this one, and then maybe if the RDJ one comes out looking cooler or something, maybe I'll sell this one, or maybe this will be enough for me. Who knows?
Yeah, no, I get it. I also want to see if they do the Fantastic Four or like whatever they do with the Avengers. Like, I just want to wait and see what they do with that. If this figure can be a companion piece with other stuff, so I'm just waiting.
Yeah.
I'm patient.
Dang, Mezco has diecast Doom. Yeah, I mean, you know, I'm guessing with this one, Hot Toys is probably like, we can come in at a really good price point on this one and sell a shit ton of them because the Doom hype is at an all-time high because of the new announcement. So I can't say I blame them. I can't say I blame them. By the way, guys, 74 people watching. Thank you so much for being here, listening to us cry and smile over these figures. I appreciate you guys, each and every one of you. Please consider dropping a like on the stream and subscribe if you haven't already. Is this supposed to be DiCaprio? I don't know. Can you see DiCaprio in those eyes, Stevie Weeby? Let's see. Sorry, guys. I'm just scrolling through your comments. Dr. Doom Dopo, the collector #1, says, I agree. This is definitely one that I want to pick up. I'm not gonna risk it on this one. I definitely want to pick it up. Although it's not much of a risk lately, but I definitely want to pick this one up. I see Ty in the chat. What's up, Ty? Great to have you here as always. A good friend and a moderator. And yes, this is the guy from Fortnite, except in Fortnite, for the most part, we're just dealing with the Doom bot. You know, not the real Doctor Doom, unless you're lucky enough to become the Doctor Doom. But yeah, this is really cool. I'll be picking this one up. Mike, I'm guessing for you, this is definitely a pickup. I feel like you have to, dude. I feel like you have to get Doctor Doom because you've been championing for a Doctor Doom. I feel like you have to.
Wait, have I?
I feel like you kind of threw in subtle
for Doctor Doom
in there. Yeah, I feel like it.
Look, I think it's awesome. It just doesn't really fit in my collection, but it's so cool. It's we got so much coming that I don't need to talk myself into this one. But I love it. Yeah, I love it. I have never been a huge Fantastic Four guy, but I'm sure that everybody who is, this is like the dream come true right here.
Yeah. I think, like I said, I think Hot Toys is probably going to get a lot of pre-orders on this one because you'll get that allure of just Doctor Doom being Doctor Doom, and people will buy him just because he's cool, just because he looks cool, not necessarily because you're like a big Fantastic Four fan or
you don't have to be.
Right? Maybe you'll even be like you play Fortnite and you're like, oh, I saw Doctor Doom in Fortnite, now I think he's cool. You know, it could be anybody. It's just really
Doctor
cool.
Doom is kind of like he's like bigger than the Fantastic Four in my opinion. You know?
Yeah. Absolutely. I would agree with that for sure. That's why I'm really excited to see what they do with them in the next Avengers film. That's going to be really cool.
I'm really, really happy that look the whole thing that went down.
Yeah.
It like sucks and all, you know. As far as like that Marvel having to like change tracks because of what happened with Jonathan Majors, but I mean, I think that this is an awesome direction to go in and to lean heavily in him as being the main baddie.
Yeah,
so it's exciting.
We need someone who's more of Thanos' level because he was a hard one to top, and I really enjoyed Kang, but Thanos right now he's unstoppable in terms of goated like Marvel on screen villains. Josh Brolin just killed that role, and obviously Endgame and Infinity War were just so good.
And Doctor Doom will become a household name now because of RDJ again, just like they did with Iron Man, who was like a D-list character at the time, and now is an A-list character because of Robert Downey Jr.
Yep. Yeah, so I'm excited for it. I'm surprised to hear you're not picking up. I thought this would have been one that you're interested in, but like you said, you can't get them all, and especially I know what you either bought or are about to buy. So now I could truly say I don't blame you.
Exactly. We've been talking all day, and you kind of know where my head's at right now. So
knowing that, I'm like, okay, now I can understand. So
yeah.
But yeah, dude, I don't blame you. But Lane, before we move on to our next one, the guys in the chat, surprisingly, guys, not that many people in the chat are too hyped about Doctor Doom. I'm surprised by that. Actually, I say that, and the poll has flipped tremendously since I looked like 30 seconds ago. So right now, 63% are saying cop. Before it was like almost 50-50. So I'm surprised how many people jumped on that. And yeah, and I was kind of thinking this way, Lane. I don't know if you kind of envisioned this yourself. I'm like, okay, now that we have Doctor Doom, I could start to reconsider maybe like a villains section, because Thanos, as much as I would love to have him in a villains section, I much prefer him amongst my Infinity War / Endgame ensemble.
Well, because
display.
he's the culmination basically of like all those MCU movies, and he's still movie Thanos. He's not quite comic Thanos.
Right, so I do prefer, like, I have Infinity War on one side, and then I have the Battle Damage Endgame on the other, and then all mixed in are Infinity War / Endgame.
And the Infinity War one doesn't really fit with the comic version because he doesn't at all look like the comic version of Thanos. Whatsoever.
Sorry, Lane, I'm just now getting his DiCaprio joke. He was referring to the man with the Iron Man, the man in the Iron Mask.
Yeah.
Where he takes the helmet off and all the hair is like wrapped around his face. Yeah, I get it now. Stevie would be, I get it now. Went right over my head. But yeah, sorry, go ahead, Lane. I didn't mean to cut you off, but
I get that, because like for Thanos, like one Thanos does not look like the comic Thanos at all, like no armor, nothing.
Right, they're very, very different. Yeah.
Yeah, and then the movie one is he's also just so huge in comparison and stuff. I can see where you run into a problem. He's just being so big. It's like fitting Carnage with something, just so massive. I think, 'cause I think actually with him, Kang would actually go really well with the blue helmet version of him, the light up head. I think would actually go with this guy really well because that is, I think that is actually one of the, maybe that's why it translated. And sometimes some people thought it looked a little dopey, is because it is so much like the comic version of Kang, which maybe might
like having Kang's flanking this guy, like he's not quite on his level, but he's still pretty powerful. That would be pretty cool.
Yeah, no, like those two would go together really well. I love this figure. Like I'll admit, I was so hyped to see. I'm kind of in the same thing for Mike. At least my 1/6 scale Hot Toys. Like this makes me wish kind of I had got that classic Iron Man back in the day, the one that came out the exclusive last year. That was the basically the Hono one, but die cast. That one is that the one you're talking about? I wish I had kept and got that one because if I had that, I could just because
it's all right, Lane. I have it. It's okay.
So Lane,
I had it paid off, but I had to cancel it because of some other stuff came up. I had it already paid off last year. I'm pretty sure.
That's fair.
You know, Lane. It's influencers like you that kill me because you're right. Like I would love. Now that I'm thinking about it, like with this release, you could really do. Think about it. We got that Iron Man. Okay. We've got the Black Suit Spider-Man. We've got. You could make a Secret Wars display. You're getting closer and closer.
And we never know. In Secret Wars, there could be a Beyonder. We don't know. The Beyonder could actually be in Doom. And what is it? Doomsday or Secret Wars, because he was part of both. He was part of that story, so we could actually see the Beyonder show up unexpectedly. One thing I'll say is,
but I mean Secret Wars. You know what I mean, Lane? I mean like the comic version.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. But these casting spell things, I fucking love. Sorry. Using my phone.
I love. No, you're good. I like how his hands, and like Mike said, I do want to see without the Photoshop what it looks like. But how badass is that? How the hands like creep through the effect?
Yeah, well, it looks like maybe a better effect than even some of the Doctor Strange ones.
Oh yeah, this is like an advancement. And by the way, OG fan, what's up, bro?
Sticking them on the figures and stuff like that. Hey, OG.
And OG, I think the links got dropped. They were fresh. I think those links just went up while we were on stream, right? So I'm not sure if somebody has an answer for OG, like if it does it say the day that those figures are going live. I don't know if they will do that. I'm not sure if they'll say that for like queued announcements. But
this one, I'm really hoping, like this figure, I am really hoping has good pre-orders both like in Hong Kong and here, because this could mean more. Because like if they're not good for whatever, I don't expect that. I'm just saying if they're not good, if this like an awesome looking figure and Dr. Doom is one of those one that has cachet. I mean, however bad he was handled, he's been in several Fantastic Four movies and stuff. So we've had cinematic versions. He's shown up in literally every animated series for Marvel going, like the Spider-Man is Amazing Friends back in the late 70s and 80s. There's always been a version of Dr. Doom. I love the head sculpt. Like I said, they took literally the Sideshow Premium Format statue and shrunk it to a 1/6 scale and made it even cooler because you can pose it.
It looks great. Yeah, I agree.
I'm kind of with Mike is that if I had any comic figure, maybe if I had like even some of the Hotto like Wolverine or something because Wolverine has run into Dr. Doom before. I mean, Dr. Doom's run into everybody at some point. Like you had some comic stuff to stick it with because, and I would say some people are saying I'm going to, like you said, we're talking about the RDJ one. RDJ is going to come in like 2027, man. Mm-hmm. Like you might be able to have this guy in your collection for a couple years before you get an RDJ.
Yeah, I feel like if you're a big fan, you jump on this now and then you just wait and see what happens with the other one.
Yeah, and he's going to look cool, but different than this for sure.
Now, if he's like a $375 figure for whatever reason, I would say, maybe
if he's anything over like $315, that's crazy because like
I know. I'm just saying we never can tell with this.
I'm just saying like in general, but
yeah, because he's a comic and no head sculpt, I would say 280, 285, probably.
Sub 300 would be very good for the market. I think. I think sub 300 would be very good.
Yeah, but whichever way, like that I mean, like literally that is the Sideshow premium format for having the flags and the
And
whole
his
thing.
effects, dude. Now it makes my Maleficent look like shit because she has similar effects, and this looks so much better.
Yeah. But I completely understand people passing on this figure because it is a comic one. If, like, you know, Mike, we're talking about where you can look at it and you just want to go, you want to hit the pre-order button. Like this makes you look at it and you want to smash the pre-order button.
Yep.
But
and I have the Hono brown suit Wolverine, which is the suit he's wearing in Secret Wars. So, like, Lane, stop. You're killing me because you're making me want to buy it.
And Mike, this is actually much cheaper than it was for retail.
The extra thing where you could actually like you were saying, have wiring in the actual head thing, so you could like maybe partially cover like part of his face to give him kind of that half do mask look that some of the famous covers have. Mike, you know that would look really excellent in your collection with some dark lighting and stuff.
Real quick, guys.
I'm gonna be good now. But
real quick,
but I can just say, if you're asking me right now for how it's feeling for the Garfield sculpt versus this one, like I'm on the complete opposite end. Like this one, I don't know if I'm going to get this one. But I'm kind of like Mike. Even if I don't do it now, I could see like 3 months from now, even if I don't get the special edition, like I just go, wow, there's been nothing, and that Doom is still so cool, and I, just kind of randomly on one night just pre-order it without thinking about it. Like I could see that happening.
That's the Midnight Collector right there. That's what he does.
It's a Midnight Collector, Legendary Lane. Real quick, guys. Collective Madness is unfortunately leaving us now. Everybody say boo. Everybody in the chat, throw tomatoes at him. Boo.
He's always awesome, man.
Boo.
I got baby duties, bro. Come on.
Whatever, dude. It's crazy.
Dude. That's why I'm always a half hour late.
He had shots there, and he's actually getting like
be nice to Chris.
Stuff, so
does he have a little fever?
Yeah. Yeah, so I gotta get in there.
No, Ash Chase, not woo, boo. You meant to say boo.
No,
I hope he feels better.
Hey, just be careful picking on the Chris man, or the UPS Demon Ghost Bear is going to go play soccer with your next.
He's at 101.3, so we gave him medicine, and now I gotta get in there.
Got him on that.
Godspeed,
thank you very much,
soldier.
sir, for being on here.
Feel better,
see
little Chris. See ya.
All right, see y'all.
See it.
Oh man.
I'm just waiting for a couple of years from now where we can literally talk. We can 2 years from now where we can talk to Chris and go, so hey Chris, what is the source of your madness? And he can just pull up and just point down.
Yeah,
and we'll know exactly when he's in the terrible twos. We'll know the sort where he's collecting madness because he has a 2-year-old that's making him crazy.
I'm already there, my friend. Yep.
We got the chat rioting. Well, I should say I have the chat rioting. Guys, holy shit. Holy shit. It's so funny.
This is the one, man. This is the one that I just went.
I appreciate everybody messaging me right when this went up. It actually made me feel so good that people know that I was so excited for this one and how much I love the Predator stuff. Because I had so many people message me dude, what you think of that Predator? And it's like Hot Toys.
What Predator? You were what Predator?
Right. It's like Hot Toys was listening to me last week. Because what did I say last week, guys? I said I would love to see... And as what I said they do not need to 2.0 it because it's that good. They don't need to 2.0 it. Just give me an alternate version of the Samurai Predator to have as a companion piece for this one. And that's what they did. That's literally what they did. They didn't need to reinvent the wheel with this one. A lot of people were probably curious as to, hey, current owners, are you mad? I am not mad one bit. I think this is actually the smartest reimagining of a figure they've done in a while because it's truly a pure companion piece for this previous figure through and through. Yes, they've repeated the same base. That's a little whatever. But with that being said, dude, this special edition helmet right here is so badass. And this is exactly what I needed to set my two apart and have a higher up next to a lower ranking samurai in my display. Dude, this looks so good. There's a lot to like about this original Samurai Predator because this has more of that traditional Predator flesh tone. This one, there's a lot different on this one, though they use mostly the same armor pieces. The flesh tone is completely different. The armor is painted completely differently. Some of the armor panels are laid out slightly differently. The dreads are different colors. There's enough there for me.
It's a different Predator.
Dude, it's like
Predator.
it's exactly what I was hoping for when we heard that news about them meeting with this gentleman.
Mm-hmm.
It's truly a companion piece for this one.
He may have done some new some new artwork layouts and stuff with some fine tuning or changes that he saw after like 10, 11 years. So
right. That's exactly what it is, Lane.
Basic thing, but they made some slight adjustments or changes to some of the
exactly. They're like, hey, you did this amazing figure. You don't need to reinvent the wheel. What could you do to make this different? And that's exactly what they did. And I'm super happy with how this looks. And I'm going to say this right now. This is such a badass standout piece. There's going to be a lot of people thinking about getting this one, even if they don't collect Predators, because it's just that special. It's truly like a work of art, in my opinion. When you talk about, like, we joke and say, oh, that's a work of art. This, to me, is like as close as you get to a hot toy being a work of art. Like, it's just that good. It's so unique. It's very special. And, dude, I'm just over the moon about this. I literally can't stop looking at it. Every day I've been looking at photos of it because I friggin' love it, dude. I love it so much.
Yeah.
And to be fair, they did include basically all the same accessories. Like, the base is the same, albeit the colors are very different.
Right.
The one that originally came with this version was like a purplish xenomorph, whereas this is like a darker black. But that's kind of that aesthetic they went for, that like red and black dark aesthetic. It was such a good decision. And I'm surprised at how much I like the green flesh tone with the red armor. It just clashes in such a beautiful way. And I'm sorry I'm like nerding out over this, but dude, I love it. I absolutely love this figure.
No,
and I think Hot Toys was
I'm so happy
smart
for
with this.
you.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah. For you and everyone else, even, if somebody just bought the other one 2 days ago, right? There's no reason to look at this and be like, damn it, because I would be like super excited to have both, because a slight skin color change and armor change, it's literally a different Predator, because you have mask options to swap out. You can even do it mask without the mask.
They've got some exclusive, like there's enough different with it.
And here's one thing I want to point out, Mike.
Yeah.
I was just going to add this to your point while you're talking. Look at like AVP, for example, the three brothers. Their armor was all basically the same with some minor variations. Like one was missing thigh plates, one was missing one thigh plate. The other one, they had different biomass. But apart from that, it was generally the same. So this isn't completely out of the realm of possibility when we're talking about Predators and how their armor variants differ between their clans. Like it's a really smart reimagining, like I said. So.
They totally work together. And I don't know about that base because I've never seen it in person, but could you turn the base, turn it around? And so like on one, you're seeing the back of the red alien, on this one, you're seeing the front, and you don't necessarily use the head on the other one, just on this one. I mean, so you can add that variety to it.
Yeah, so what things you can do at the base, the ports that come off the back of the Xenomorph's back, those are removable, so you could like kind of play with it that way. Obviously, the head is completely sliced off, so you could have one Predator holding the head in his hand, the other one being like laying on the ground or just completely out of the picture altogether. So I think there is a way to kind of differentiate them a little bit. I will say they are the exact same mold. They're in the exact same place, like the way that the body's laying, but yeah, dude.
But dude, if Hot Toys goes back and gives us some more Xenomorphs, holy crap, right? You can just create this awesome scene with all of them.
Right, and imagine this Xenomorph becomes a figure eventually.
Yeah, dude. So so this obviously, like, I guess that is one piece. The hand is connected to the second jaw, right? Like, and you just plug the hand into the Predator's arm.
You're talking,
is that how that works? Like
this right here you're talking about?
I can't see your cursor.
Are you talking about the hand holding the Xenomorph's mouth?
Yeah. That's one piece.
I think it's a separate, at least on the original one, I believe it was a separate piece. Like there should be right here, you can see it. See it laying on the ground right here? It is a separate piece, I think.
You can put the head on the ground.
Yes, yep.
For one of them and have the other one holding the head, and you're still displaying the heads of both. Okay.
And this is very like, the dome is very like Big Chap-esque as well. I love the see-through.
I'm surprised they went with like a Big Chap look, not a warrior look for it. I think that's cool. I love that you can see between the dome and the skull.
Yeah,
like, there's really so many great details.
And this helmet, like I said, this even further drives home that variance that you need to kind of have them separated even more. So to me, this mask for my display is like essential because I love how this mask looks. And you can't tell from the front, but that Chinese symbol is kind of raised.
You mean Japanese?
So sorry, I said Chinese. Yeah, Japanese. There you go. You can kind of see it there. That Japanese symbol is kind of raised, so it kind of adds that dimension to the biomask. It just looks really good, man. And another thing that you can do that you could do with the original, this is also removable. I imagine it's probably the same case on here. So that's another way you can kind of add variants to it. I mean, of course, you could remove or add whatever you want to as well. You don't have to have this whole bundle of swords on his back. You can remove some of the swords if you want to. Just kind of make it your own, and they'll look really great together, I think. Like, dude, he looks... I'm very curious to see the price point on this one.
Do us all a...
Sure.
Sorry, I think I'm lagging. I don't mean to talk over you.
You're a little delayed. You're good.
Sorry. My bad, dude. Could you go over like the 500 limited edition thing and all that?
So, yeah, there's been some confusion with that, and I've attempted to kind of clear it up. So, at first, I was certain that this was a pre-order. Like, it was just a pre-order. You know, the amount of available pre-orders for the special edition with the biomask, the special biomask was going to be limited. It was mentioned by Hot Toys there's only going to be 500 between, I think, Hong Kong. I can't remember exactly where they specified, but there's only going to be 500 in Hong Kong. So a lot of people assumed that meant, okay, it's going to be like Deadpool. They're going to release and Ladypool. They're going to release 500 early, and that's what they're going to do. But as far as I know, like Pop Collectibles posted saying that they were ready stock. I spoke with Jeremy Casa. Him and I were looking over the literature that was posted by Hot Toys. When I read it, they specified other things being ready stock. They did not say that it was going to be like for example, the Mark 80, the alternate version of the Mark 80 that just released. They specified that was going to be ready stock in the post. This they did not. So as far as I know, guys, I'm sorry about the confusion because I know it was kind of two different things in the Facebook group chat. As far as I know, right now, this will be a pre-order. Because in the literature from Secret Base, they say special 500, first 500 to book the special edition. They specifically say book. So usually when they say book, as far as I know, that means they're a pre-order. So I imagine Sideshow obviously will have a limited amount that you could do. I hope they don't do a queue system for a pre-order or for a not instant release type of thing, but maybe they will. It might be a queue system for this one. You
think other regions will have access to that 500?
I'm pretty sure they said just Hong Kong. They specified 2 locations that would be getting them. I don't remember which 2 locations in Hong Kong they said, but okay. And by the way, what's up, Steve? Channel member and a good friend. I've had this up on the screen forever, and fellow enabler, and everybody, guys in the chat say, Steve, you're not getting the Obi-Wan Starfighter. Just tell him he's not getting it because he needs that to be driven home that he's not allowed to buy it. But Steve, thanks so much for being here as always. And Steve says, was watching some clips from an S-tier movie called The Batman. He's referring to the conversation we had on Gio's channel about the best Batman. I thought that was so funny. I was like, me and a couple other people were the only ones talking about how much we like Pattinson. So I was like, you made me play my trap card. And I went and got Steve and told him to start talking about the Batman.
I'm with you guys, man.
Yeah, it was a fun conversation. That was a really fun conversation. TX Boy says, Hot Toys killing it, banger after banger, killing grails and wallets simultaneously. It's interesting because I don't know if they necessarily killed this first one. I think the value of the companion piece will drive the price on that one. I'm very curious. Maybe an initial dive just from the people that were like, well, I could settle for this one. But then, like, once you have that initial dive, there might be collectors who are like, well, shit, I want both of them because they're going to look really cool together. So this one, I can't necessarily say it's definitely gonna crash and burn. Who knows?
Yeah. I like the last Ronin there, TX, by the way.
Kaiju says, I regret not buying the first one, but this helps soothe my pain. I mean, dude, the first one was selling for a mint. I actually got mine for a pretty fair price. Mine had like a little piece broken in the mail. Shout out to Zach from Collecting Weekly. He printed me some custom parts to replace those. That man is an absolute angel. But yeah, I'm actually going to be doing a video. I've been holding off doing a video on that one because I've been waiting on the replacement parts from Zach because he's working on some other stuff for me. But I think now is the best time to do a video on that, just to show you guys what the old one looks like, and you can kind of make your decision from that, which one you want to go with, unless you want both. Yeah, they definitely full-on repeated the base with this one, but that's okay. Like I said, I still think it looks badass. I think if you're getting this figure for the first time, you deserve that base, because that base, dude, it's amazing. It's a pretty big base, though. Like, it's probably, like, that big. It's a big base. But it's badass, dude. When you see it in person, you're like, yeah, that's the one. X-Man Supreme says, so are you going to get 2 or have both helmets? I'm going to have helmets on both of these, because I really appreciate that, like, that Japanese samurai-inspired design work that they did on these. So I would rather have that kind of showcased in my collection. And that's not to say that the non-biomass look with the mandibles doesn't look awesome, because they did a great job sculpting the head as well. I just would much prefer having those biomass. It just kind of completes the look for me. He may have killed Larry the Lobster. He may have. Or maybe he got in the fight with a ketchup bottle and he lost. Who knows? Dude, I'm X-Man. I'm not... X-Man, I'm tapped out on the green one, dude. That was it. There's one and done on that one. I didn't think was ever gonna get another one, but here we are. Mr. Musashi, not sure yet. I don't know. They just put up the RSVPs. I don't know if they mentioned dates, because I haven't had a chance to check, because it happened while we were on stream. So you may want to check those links out and see. Yeah, 500 for the special mass version, exactly. I know it's like split between 2 stores. Yes, yep, 500
really
for the
missing all that
version. Right, if you don't care about the mask, like I said, for me, the mask is important because I have the previous one, and that's like a nice way to set them apart from obviously like the different colors and everything. I like the idea of having like a higher ranking Samurai Predator with that other helmet, so that one's kind of essential for me. Eric, I don't know if you asked this after I kind of mentioned it. I think because it's limited, they may queue this one. I just have this feeling it may be a queue. But I don't know. It could be timed with the other 2. I think it's safe to say the other 2 special editions for Spidey and why am I blanking? Doctor Doom, those will be timed. This one I think might be a queue. We'll see though. McCready. JB, do you have a question about McCready? Are you asking about my McCready? If you clarify, I'd be happy to answer your question.
That might be a good excuse to show it off, because I know you've been doing a lot of work.
I haven't made any progress. I'm kind of at a standstill right now because I'm waiting on some custom parts. But, yeah, and I think there's something about the translation of the name of this one. Isn't it like something blood and something? Can't remember. It was on the.
That's pretty cool. I guess Red Horn Demon.
It was a really badass name. I can't remember exactly what it was. I should. Did they say it on this post? Let's see. Let's see.
Isn't that what Kaju's saying though? Red Horn Demon?
Oh, I didn't. Bro, I literally completely skipped over that. Red Horn Demon. Okay. Oh, JB's asking about the McCready video. I'm sorry, bro. So yeah, I will give you a little update since you asked, because I don't know if you saw the last time I showed it and what my progress is like. I am waiting for the rest of my parts. I'm waiting for a gun belt and the hat. But this is where he's at right now. You can see I've added buttons to the coat. I've darkened the colors on this. This is like a DID pilot jacket that's very close to the one used in the original filming. You can see I've got fur on them. I don't know if I told you guys, I am getting these head sculpts rooted. I've got the hoodie on them. I've got the pilot shades as well. You can see, I mean, this jacket just fits him really nicely. So that's where he's at right now. I'll back him up a little bit so you can see, but that's where he is. So guys, if you don't know, this is the Mondo RJ McCready with some mods, custom body, a pilot jacket that I customized. So I'm working on it. Sorry it's taking so long. I'm just waiting for... I probably necessarily won't wait until the head sculpts are done being rooted, but I do want to wait for the gun belt and the hat, because that's kind of like a completion of the look. But I'm working on it.
How difficult would it be, you think, to put like a snow or frost effect on them?
That's actually, I do have a second custom in mind where I'm going to do a snow version of it, because I'm going to work on a second jacket, and I'm going to get the hair. I'm actually probably going to have Riley Lowe do the rooting hair, because he said he could probably do it pretty easily. I'm probably going to have him add a little bit of like white snow effect to the hair. So thanks, dude. Like I said, I appreciate it, and I can't wait to share it with you guys, so you guys can kind of put your own together and make it better, right? Because it's such a beloved character for a lot of us, and such a classic film. Anything John Carpenter really is top on my list. But Mondo, they gave us a good base, but it needs some work. So I'm happy to do my best to help you guys make yours a little bit better. So I appreciate that very much. Steve's talking his blasphemy. Justin, I need you to crack the whip, man. You're my enforcer when it comes to Steve, dude. I need you here, man. Steve says, Connor keeps telling me to stop buying stuff, then he'll say he's getting head sculpture, and this man is out of pocket. Steve, don't go there, dude, because you have been very destructive this past week, and I've had to reel you in multiple times. I'm going to let this one slide, dude. But if you keep it up, I'm going to tell everybody your plans of spending a tremendous amount of money. Don't make me do it. Justin, you got to get him, dude. You got to get him. But all jokes aside, of course, guys, I'm getting this. I think I made that abundantly clear. I'm picking this one up. I don't know about you, Mike. I feel like this is maybe like an appreciation from afar type thing for you.
No, I mean, okay, because I'm a sucker for this because it's AVP.
Okay.
It's AVP, right?
Isn't that interesting? The AVP is the licensing for this one.
Oh,
it's very weird. I mean, that's cool that like Fox is like, sure, just call it AVP, design your own thing, and it's not from anything that they've ever done, but or comic or anything. But
I think they're just taking design cues from AVP, and that's why it's considered an AVP related figure.
That's kind of like, because I'm such a sucker for anything alien. That's what really kind of tips it over the scales for me, dude.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Yeah. It's amazing looking figure. This has got me, because I've been looking at this, is that I saw someone selling like non-box Pred Alien from AVP Requiem.
I did see that
regular
as well.
version, and I'm just like, ooh.
I'm never going to tell you not to buy a Predator. Just saying, don't ask me because I'll tell you to buy it.
Yeah, well, yeah, I know that. This, I really like this figure. I actually really like the shoulder cannon design for this and everything. It's an amazing looking figure. Hey, Peter. I don't know if it's something I'm going to pick up because. But
Lane, look at this guy.
I know it looks amazing. This one is very seriously, but it's like Dr. Doom. Is I own no other Predators, and I'm probably not going to. If I'm going to buy a Predator, it's going to be like one of the AVP Predators for $3,000 from fucking.
Or Jungle Hunter.
I'm going to buy them.
I'll say this, Lane. I feel like this is the one Predator that could stand on his own, and you don't have to have anything else.
Yeah, no. I just, it's one of those things. I need to see the price point for it when it comes out and stuff. But it's one other figure we're going to talk about is kind of the one I really have in my sight, because I've the last two pre-orders I've done were Chewbacca, and I did General Grievous. They were like $800 together. So
yeah, you know what else is cool though, Lane? When you think of this, you can get, even though it's like not the same time period, you can get a samurai Wolverine or samurai body, and throw a Wolverine head on there, and these would work really nicely together.
They did Wolverine versus Predator in the comics not too long.
Exactly. Well, that one too, yeah. But their fight started like in the 1800s, when Wolverine was like younger. So, but still, like, he does have a history of fighting predators, and he does have a history of being.
You know what I'm going to put with these, Mike?
Yeah.
I don't know if you remember the games Ninja Gaiden. So there's a third party. SW Toys is doing a third part, which I'm so hyped for. It's the Xbox version from Ninja Gaiden. I think that would look so dope with these. But obviously, like, they're telling him what to do. Let's be real. As badass as he is, they're telling him what to do. But I agree. Like, there's a lot of stuff you could do with this.
This guy, I think would go really good with the old Alien versus Predator, Elder Predator.
Yeah, that would look cool.
Yeah, it would look cool. What's cool about him too is, like, thinking about Wolverine. He's the only Predator I know of that has 3 claws rather than 2.
Hey, FPJ.
He's got like 3 claws that flip down.
Yeah.
Whereas the rest just have 2 that slide forward.
Yeah, they're really cool how they articulate too. It moves as a singular unit, so you can kind of have one, or it's really cool. It's just how this artist created this from AVP design work is just amazing to me. And like I said before, he did make an Alien, so I'm hoping that pops up eventually. Who knows? But
yeah. It's really cool. But I can see also how people could skip on this one too, because it's not from any of the movie. And there is that other Jungle Hunter coming. So if you're more into the movie figures or something. I mean, between the two, I'd be more likely to buy this guy. Between that or the Jungle Hunter.
Yeah, because that's probably going to be
cooler.
inaccurate, so you might as well go with this one.
Yeah, this one is just. But this guy is an amazing figure, and as was talked about before, the previous one, which is very old, like 12 years old, 11 or 12 years old.
And the crazy thing is, Lane, it's so good, it doesn't even feel like it. That's the crazy thing about that figure. Like, a lot of those figures around that age, you could really see it.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel like it at all.
Just the Dark Knight figures. You look at a lot of those and go, ooh.
Yeah, and you look at this, it's like it was made 5 years ago. It's crazy how well done it is.
But I'm really happy to see that they are doing this again, because I think this guy, where he's definitely niche, he's going to, amongst the this guy's going to be a popular niche figure.
Oh, yeah.
For people to pick up. And
I'm also very curious to see the price point on this one. I'm guessing this is going to be in the $400 range, because there is a lot here.
Yeah.
You know, you have a massive diorama display base. You have all these different, there's a die-cast sword, a bunch of extra swords that come with them. Just a lot of stuff, right? So I'm expecting probably 400 plus on this one, guys. So if you're interested in it, Kaju said, no. Kaju, that's actually much better. The numbers went up. It was originally like almost 50-50. So yeah, I did close the poll, by the way, guys, because I forgot to. 34% said flop, 66% cop. I think that's pretty fair. That's a pretty fair ratio.
I think it's also like a tough question to ask, because it's like cop means you're going to get it. Flop means it sucks. No, it just means you're not going to get it. So yeah, so like sometimes
flop
I don't
technically
know how to
it's
that.
A flop, but I use it in the way of like I'm not going to get it. But yeah, technically a flop. Yeah.
But hey, TX Boy asked an interesting question. If you had to choose, would you choose this one or the Feral Predator?
Shit, that is very tough. I would honestly probably pick this one.
Yeah, me too.
As tough as it is, this one's just way cooler. Look, the Feral Predator is badass, but he is such a wimp compared to like a lot of the modern day Predator. And even like this is a samurai Predator, but he has a shoulder cannon. Yeah. The Feral Predator didn't have an actual cannon. He had like these seeking bolts, like these heat seeking, but well, not heat seeking. They followed the laser on his helmet. But you get what I'm saying. He was very primitive. So I feel like this is just more badass. The Feral Predator, as cool as he is, this is just, there's so much more level of detail and complexity to this figure. He's just
and also even in some of the joints, you probably get hidden by some of the armor and stuff.
Right,
exactly. That's what I was going to say too.
This guy actually does have a solid torso, which was, you know, a choice that they made with the Feral Predator, which was interesting. He does not have a fully solid torso. He's got that visible joint there, which I kind of get it, because the Feral Predator was more like acrobatic, and he was also much smaller than a lot of the more modern Predator. Like, dude, look at the young bloods from AVP. They're fucking tanks, man. They're huge. So the Feral Predator is much skinnier, but, you know, that was kind of how he adapted, right? They were swift. They were quick. They didn't wear a lot of armor. So it's a completely different type of Predator. So I kind of get it. Like, they did that torso so you can kind of get him in some more acrobatic, like, poses. I understand it. Honestly, for me, though, I probably would have just said, just give me the solid torso. I just want him to look more realistic. But either way, that figure looks awesome. But TX, but that is a great question. And that's almost like, that's like Brick Artemis level putting you on the spot, because he always puts two really good things. Well, I should say multiple really good things against
the top or bottom.
Right. So you almost kind of hit that top or bottom there. Yeah. That was a very difficult one. But yeah, this one just has so much going on, man. There's so much detail. And yeah, I would definitely pick this one. That's tough. It's tough to say, because you guys know I love that Feral Predator. But yeah, I'm really excited about this, guys. I can gush over this one all night. This is badass. Hot Toys, come on. Talk to this artist. Sorry, I don't know his name off the top of my head. But talk to this artist. Tell him that he should do that Xenomorph, because I know he did an Alien versus Predator statue little piece. And someone mentioned earlier, Hot Toys actually, it was really cool to see. Hot Toys posted raw casts of this set earlier, showing off the process of like developing this new version. It was all the raw castings of the figure. And I know you guys don't want to look at that right now, but check out Hot Toys page. They posted a photo or maybe a video of it earlier with all the raw castings and everything. It's really cool to see everything kind of parted out and like the concept work behind it. It's definitely really dope. And if you think that this week couldn't have gotten any better, you were wrong. Because, guys, another one that was on our list, and this one was obviously the most obvious one because we already saw a prototype of it. We got a Batman Returns Michael Keaton 2.0, guys. And I hate to say it because you guys know I've said it many times. The 89 is my favorite film, but also my favorite suit. This is better. This is more accurate than the 89. They did a better job on this one than the 89. And a lot of people, you know, have been really praising this head sculpt, and I think it deserves a lot of praise. The one thing I will say that doesn't make sense with this one is there should be blood on the sculpt, having that broken cowl look. I don't know why they decided not to do that. Thankfully, if you like to customize, it's very easy to add fake blood yourself, so that's kind of a good thing, especially if you're going to do what I'm going to do. I'm going to use the Mars Toys Bruce Wayne figure that I have and throw this sculpt on there because this is better than that sculpt in my opinion. Obviously, the paint's way better as well. But what a beautiful, beautiful announcement, guys. And I like how they have him sitting here. In case you weren't enticed enough to get yourself a Batmobile from whatever respective company. He looks great, though. I think they did a better job on the head sculpt on this one than the original, but also I think that their cowl on this 92 version is more accurate than the cowl on the new 89 version. I just think they did a better job on this one. And I really like that 89, but I'm going to be upgrading mine because there's some things I don't like about it. I'm pretty sure he was bloody when he had the ripped cowl, though. I'm fairly certain that he was. I mean, I'll double check my facts, but anyone else can jump in the chat if they have any other thoughts on it. But I'm pretty sure, did he not have blood on his face when he had the cowl ripped?
Yeah, I don't remember, man. I don't remember. It's been a while since I've seen this one.
Somebody else in the chat looked that up. I don't want to look that up on stream. Yeah, it looks really good. If you guys want to like fact check that, go ahead. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But I could have sworn when he had the cowl ripped, he was bloody on the face. But either way, yeah, this figure looks great, man. I'm so excited to finally see a 2.0 on this. I've been holding off, just like I held off for the 89.
You know what I think it is? I think you're thinking of ripped off after he gets shot at.
Keaton ripped it off. He did have blood on him. So everybody's saying he did have blood on him. I thought so. I mean, I guess, okay, so I guess in that regard, it could go either way. You could have it without blood on it, or you could have it clean. There's so much blood. That's so funny. Yeah, dude, I would never display it like this because it takes up so much space, but how badass is it that they kind of gave us like a Dead Strange style, like open wingsuit here.
Hey, if you want to look there, I just posted up a link in background check for what he's looking like with his.
Okay, I thought so. Kaiju, why are you doing that to me, man? You're making me think I'm crazy. So here's the photo that Lane shared with us. That's what I remembered in my head. I thought I wasn't crazy. Come on, Kaiju, why'd you do this to me?
But does he rip it off and he's clean and then she scratches him and he has blood?
That's what I was. Yeah, that is true. Like I guess in that regard, it could go both ways. There's a portion of it where
after he was shot at by Max Shrek. Because remember, he got shot at kind of, and it looked like it hit him in the face. So it could be maybe that.
The world may never know.
Max Shrek. I'm trying to.
X-Man says for 10 seconds he was clean. Okay, well, hey. I'll reword it then, guys. I would like him to have blood. That is my personal preference. There you go, Kaiju. I would like him to have blood. I'll put it that way. I think that's more fair. But yeah, I think he looks fantastic. I was going to go back to the actual photos of the figure. I appreciate that, Lane. That was some quick thinking on your end. I think he looks really good, guys. Like I said, I feel like the suit looks much better. It's much more accurate to the film. I think the cowl looks better. Obviously, this head sculpt is crazy. They did such a great job on this head sculpt. The deepness of the blue in his eyes, man, they did a great job on this one. I'm really excited that I held off on this one because I figured eventually they would do a new version. But like I said, for me, I just much prefer the 89 suit and how the abdominal area looks in the chest area.
You mean the return suit?
I'm sorry. I prefer the 89 suit over this one.
Oh, you do? Oh, yeah, so do I.
I prefer the 89 suit, yeah.
Okay,
Looking at the return suit, like, obviously this has, like, more, like, futuristic-looking paneling, whereas, like, on the 89 suit, it's, like, almost, like, human-like abdominal structure, if that makes any sense. Still a great-looking suit, though. And that cowl, like I said, in my opinion, I think this cowl is much more accurate than the 89 cowl was.
Yeah, it looks really clean. For me, the definitive Keaton is 89, so even with its flaws, I'm sticking with that one because I've got that and I've got the Flash Batman coming. So I can have like the bookend of Keaton's performances. But to those who are getting all three, I think that's awesome.
Hey, real
Yeah.
quick. So I sent to you on Facebook. I found the scene, and I send you from like right after he rips off the cowl. So he does not have any blood right after he rips off. It's right then.
Yeah, FBJ said clean first, then he got scratched after making the comment.
And then he's got that. Yeah.
So I guess I remembered it. The memorable part of that scene was him having the bloody look on his face, and that's what I wanted. So maybe I'll add the blood to mine. But again, I most likely will use it for the Mars Toys Bruce Wayne body, just because I feel like that will elevate that figure. That's still a fantastic figure, especially for a third party. But I think I'm gonna put that on my Bruce Wayne for sure. Yeah, like I said, FBJ, me personally, I'll probably never use that, but I do like that they included it. I think it's a really cool accessory.
I like it's kind of like its actual own thing rather than like the 89 Batman where you have to stick the stupid poles in the thing and you would be stretching the hands up.
Yeah.
It looked like, hey, if you put your figure in like up in that with his hands up gripping the stuff, pose for more than like 2 minutes, you would probably start like completely screwing the bodysuit up or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you guys think this is a deluxe or bust? Kind of, right? I mean, how do you miss that?
I mean, you know me. Yeah, you know me with Keaton, regardless it was going to be a deluxe or bust, but that head sculpt is way too good to say no to. Whether it's bloody or not, I would still
Well, you know, I talked about it a little bit, you know, when we first logged in, is that I am torn because I don't like diorama bases, and I will just skip them because I don't want them. I don't want to spend the extra money on something I just am going to keep in the box and never use. Yeah. And I was caught on this one because this one, like for the previous 89 Batman, I had originally pre-ordered the regular edition. And I would like to do the same thing because they're the same price, because I canceled that one and got all my money back to put towards this one. And they would like literally be within $5 of each other. But this head sculpt being because it's with the deluxe version, I just feel like I got to get it.
No way they're doing that. Remember those ridiculous head panels they had on the original? I think that was on the DX09, right? They had that on the DX09.
Yep, you could see the seam in his hair in the back.
Well, you know, speaking of Unreal's cowl, maybe I'll have to get the 92 cowl then. That's crazy that they're going back to that.
But this one, I'm gonna have to get the deluxe. I got to get the Keaton head sculpt with this one. Like that's just, because he's trying to stop her.
Yeah, no, I get that part. Like I was just saying, I was wanting it to have blood on it. But again, seems like the consensus we've made here is this is still accurate, but also it having blood would also be accurate as well. That's the consensus we've had here. I would just prefer it with blood on it. So maybe I came off too hard because of my preference, but I would prefer it to have blood on it just because it adds an extra bit of detail.
Hardcore guy trying to boss everybody around.
That's you, Lane. You're the big boss around here. This is really the Lane show, the Lane Toys Hotline.
I just wish that they had a third plate that was more different than what we're getting. You know what I mean? Because those two on the left and right,
these are very similar.
They're so similar that
the stubble looks very good, though. I will say that they did a great job on the stubble.
I just love how this looks. Like the suit, everything to it just looks amazing. Like this is everything that I wanted to get for Keaton Batman. Now I know someone talked about. I'd seen it on a couple other shows. You guys can like I don't use diorama bases. Like I just go away from them as fast as I can because I don't want them, because I don't use them. I'm never going to use them. And we don't. And I would, if this one also came with a regular base, like that's going to come with the regular edition, because I looked at that one. I like the regular base for that one. If this came with that, it would just.
This is so subtle, though. That's what I like about it, Lane. It's much more subtle than and you really could, I guess, pull both of those swap out pieces off and make it even like less of a footprint if you wanted to.
I know, but I don't use bases for when I put my figures in my cases. I just never use them. I don't use bases hardly, if at all, for any of my figures.
Is there a shot of the back? Oh shit, there is. Oh my lord, it's there, bro. Look.
Oh yeah,
I never noticed that. Well, thanks guys. Thanks for ruining this for me. No, I'm just joking. It doesn't ruin it for me, but Maybe I'll be considering that Unreal that Unreal Customs cowl.
Yeah.
Kind of wish you could take the faceplate off and access them that way, you know.
I know.
But yeah, that would have been a cool change.
That's a letdown for sure. I don't like seeing that. That's like, I don't know. It's kind of lazy in my opinion. And Hayden, hopefully they change it, dude.
Stuff, who knows?
Yeah,
I've never seen that before.
Hayden said, I hope they don't do those head panels that would kill the figure. Well, at least in this photo, you could definitely... I never even noticed that, guys. I really didn't. I guess I was so excited about the figure, I didn't even pay attention to that. But there is absolutely a line of a panel right there. Yeah, why would they update it for the 80? Maybe it's just a placeholder. Who knows? But if they don't change that, it's going to be pretty whack.
The problem is we won't know apparently until like 2 days before it comes out. They'll say, with new head sculpts, blah, 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 for... removal for system for adjusting the eyeballs, and we'll see it after it's waitlisted already for like 6 months, and it's coming out in like 2 days.
That's true.
I don't buy that for a second.
Yeah. And just kind of going along with the same topic of Batman, guys, Yost did show some updated photos today. This is still the 1.0 cowl. He is updating this cowl. I'm all on board with this because I think this is a very genius idea. So you don't have to fold your $300 figure in half. And what I also like about this, which I'm proud of Yost for doing, is he made it so you could swap the arms out with this particular seated Batman to fit in the Hot Toys 89 Batmobile as well, which is great. That's including collectors. That's more money in your pocket. You're including more collectors. I love to see that. So there are swap out arms that will come with this, guys. This is going up, I think, on the 30th, the same day as the Catwoman. I think Yost said they're going to go up for pre-order the same day. So this is a cockpit version of the 89 Batman to go in your 89 Batmobile. So that's what he looks like. Again, this is still the version 1 cowl. They're going to show the version 2 cowl, I guess, maybe before the pre-order goes live. But he's literally just seated. He can fit in the Jazz Inc. 89 Batmobile, the Hot Toys 89 Batmobile, and the Batwing if you have him. He comes with like swap out arms, I believe. So definitely have to pick this up. You guys know I caved. It got the I did sell my 89 Batmobile to a really cool guy, so I hope he's enjoying that. And I'm picking up the Jazz Inc. when I do have the Jazz Inc. on pre-order. So absolutely going to get this. I think this is genius, and I want to see more stuff like this because I don't want to ruin my $300 Batman by shoving him in the Batmobile. So I think that was a really smart decision on their part. Also, speaking of Jazz Inc., we did get some updated photos of the Michelle Pfeiffer Catwoman. This, I believe, still is not their custom body they'll be using. This is a Fison body. But I got to say, guys, she looks absolutely awesome. The progress has come very far on her since they first started showing the initial prototypes. That Hell Here diorama base is absolutely freaking beautiful. And there has been some updates on that, and it's been some good clarification. Originally, Yost was talking about if you get the 2-pack, you'll get 2 Hell Here dioramas, which I thought was really stupid. It just didn't make sense to me, right? Like, why buy 2 of the same dioramas? So he's since changed that. There's going to be 5 SKUs, I think. Each one you can get individually. And I think there's like I don't know exactly what they are, but I believe there's one with 1 head sculpt, and then another SKU with all the head sculpts for the clean version, and then battle damage version, same thing. 1 with 1 head sculpt, the one with all 3 head sculpts. And then there's the 2-pack, which you get both, all 6 head sculpts, and the Hell Here diorama. I think that's what it is. I think I'm correct on that, but if somebody has any clarification on that, let me know. But I just learned all that from watching the recent stream he was on with 1/6 Focus. I think that's the tiers. What did I say? What did I say? Did I say?
I didn't catch it.
I don't know. What did I? I don't know. Either way, yeah, he's going to be updating the body. This isn't the one that they're actually using. This is a Fison body, but 2 basics, right? And the 2 basics, they both have 1 head sculpt, I believe, right? I think that's what he's doing. 1 head sculpt. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah. So this is right now. It's a Fison body that he's using for these prototype photos, but it will be updated to a custom body. He said he will have it with, he posted with the update. Okay, so he will post the cockpit Batman with the V2 cowl. Okay, I thought so. And thank you, Valkyrie Magnus, for becoming a Hotline Hottie, a channel member. Thank you so much, my friend. Welcome to the Hotline Hotties. I appreciate you. You are too kind.
Can never have too many hotties.
Right. No, Clinton. So that was someone actually made a thread earlier on the Jazz Inc Facebook group, and of course it got a lot of debating and hate going on. But no, unfortunately, you can only get the diorama if you get the 2-pack. It's exclusive to the 2-pack now, just to keep the prices down. Yeah, dude, I was talking so fast it went right over my head. But yeah, unfortunately, Clinton, yeah, I think the diorama is also only in the 2-pack, unfortunately. And someone made like a whole post about that earlier.
I was making a Pfeiffer Feisen. I get it.
I got it now. Yeah. Sorry,
again.
dude. It wasn't that your joke was bad. I'm slow, just like Mike said. He's slow. I'm slow too. No, dude, you've always been a hottie. It just deep down inside, until you clicked that join button, you just had to affirm it for yourself. That's all it was. I know, dude. Talk about hotties. We got to have 2 Michelle Pfeiffers, not 1, right? But yeah, she looks great. The one head sculpt that very much surprised me was this tongue out sculpt. This is so badass, dude. I love it. Absolutely love it. Yost was cool enough to have people vote on which sculpts they liked the most. I think there was 4 options for both the battle damage and the regular version, the clean version. So 3 of each were going to make the cut. And thankfully, it seems like all the ones that I liked made the cut. So I'm happy it worked out that way. But this one seems like it's definitely going to make the cut because a lot of people like this one. So yeah, she's looking really good. There's some more photos on the 1/6 figure focus stream if you guys want to check that out. But I have a couple photos here of the battle damage as well. Again, she's looking really good, guys. Both versions are looking very good. It's a really hard.
Fantastic. Oh my God. Like, how do you display her? If you've got the tongue and this battle damage one,
I got to get both.
What do you choose, man?
I got to get both.
But like, which do you display? You know,
I know it's
like,
tough.
Do you get a? Yeah, anyway, yeah.
I'm getting both. I'm gonna get both.
Oh, you mean you're getting? Okay,
yeah, I'm gonna get both figures. Yeah, I got to. It's just, when it comes to Batman, Keaton is my favorite Batman, so I'm willing to go all in when it comes to Keaton. But yeah, these look fantastic, guys. I cannot wait. But that's all we got for Keaton's Batman. An interesting topic of discussion right now, guys. It's going to be our last big topic of the stream here. Let me close out these other
Connor,
tabs.
real quick, I sent you the very early prototype of this figure on Instagram. I don't know if you got that.
I don't have my Instagram open. Give me 1 sec.
It was like their early mock-up. Some say it's their best work ever, but I guess that's up for debate. You know
so this is like the original
hottie, the original InArt, yeah.
So this is what they started with, guys.
Mm-hmm. So they started with some good clay right there to mold into what we have today.
I was honestly, when you said that, I was expecting like the early Pfeiffer prototype.
Yes, that's the original Pfeiffer body from 2006 when a certain hottie was doing living out in Los Angeles doing children's parties. Anyway, there you go.
Luke Christian says, I got word my Battinson all-in was shipped, but now it's up to 2-month wait via sea shipping. So you got your invoice from Spec Fiction then. By the way, guys, in regard to that, I may be taking somebody's pre-order over for the InArt 2-pack, the all-in set, just because I was going to get my Hot Toys sculpt rooted and the price was pretty pricey. So if anyone is interested, I will sell my rooted Bruce Wayne pre-order through Spec Fiction for literally what I paid. So if anybody's interested in that, reach out to me on Instagram, Facebook, or whatever, because I'm probably going to take over that guy's order if I can get somebody to take that Bruce Wayne. Because I was originally just going to do the Hot Toys one and get the sculpt rooted, but it just seems like it's just more worth it just to get the 2-pack and sell off my pre-order. But guys, we're taking a look at the InArt Superman here. Obviously, and this is Jetta Patrol's review, by the way, if anybody's curious. Obviously, there's been a lot of debate. If you're on Facebook today, guys, there's been a lot of negativity around this. Understandably so. Obviously, shipping with InArt has been, almost non-existent. I'm very curious to know the thought process of showing a figure that's not technically released, only a handful of people got it, before finishing shipping the 2 previous figures. I should say 3, actually, because they're not even finished delivering the InArt Batmans, the Pattinson Mans. They're still shipping out Aragorns, and Harry Potter is still very early in the batches. So it's like, I don't know, man. I try my best to be fair about stuff and give them the benefit of the doubt, but it's like you can't really do it anymore. Obviously, they've heard this discussion many times. They've said that they're addressing it, but I just don't understand it because what's happened here with this InArt Superman, he looks fantastic. I'll say that right off the bat. I think he looks fantastic. But what they haven't done is they haven't updated anything from the feedback they've been given on this figure, which is very interesting because that's really atypical of InArt. Usually when they're provided with some legitimate feedback, they go and update things. But like, excuse me, for example, like the colors of the suit, from what I could tell, and of the cape have not been updated. In BVS, he had a much darker looking suit. This cape, to me, the color of this cape is more so accurate to like the Justice League version, where he's got a very bright looking suit. Again, guys, at face value, he still looks fantastic. I actually personally really like the sculpts. I know some people have their thoughts on them, but it's just very interesting. And one thing I want to point out here in Justin's video, or excuse me, in Jetta's video, is there is a little bit of a tear in the suit to the right of the crotch. If you look, like his right thigh, if you look, there's a little tear in the suit. I haven't actually seen this video yet, but I saw people posting screenshots of it on Facebook. So I'm not sure how bad that tear actually is, but I don't know. I don't know, guys.
Does he comment on that, or is people just noticed
I don't
it?
know. I don't know.
Right.
I haven't watched this
that's
video.
Right. You haven't seen it, yeah.
I will say, I remember when he opened his InArt Batman, like one of the ears was broken, and he didn't notice it at first, but then he did mention it later, like, hey, guys, I didn't notice this when I was filming. Which, you know, in his defense, that happens to me sometimes. Like, I've reviewed a figure, and then I'm messing around with it later. I'm like, oh, shit, I didn't realize that was broken. You know what I mean? So I can't really blame him for that.
No. I don't think he was, like, trying to hide anything. I was just wondering if he noticed it.
Yeah. Luke says, from what Jetta said, they've combined these review copies with their first batch. Now, I mean, if that's right, that's a good step forward. I don't know. I will say I did see some Chinese reviewers like that don't have YouTube channels post photos of them, so that might be true. I'm not really sure how this early batch thing works anymore. Multiple times I've tried to reach out to see if I could get figures early, and I've been sent one place, and then I've talked to John and never heard back. So I've given up on it at this point. I would love to get their figures to review them early, because you guys know I do a lot of figure reviews. I've reached out. John, said, well, hey, we'll take a look, blah, blah. I haven't heard back. So I've kind of given up at that point.
But Connor, I'll say this about Luke's comment, right? It's like whatever they're dealing with Batman is a separate issue from every other figure. So from their point of view and from a collector's point of view, I don't want them just halting everything until everyone has their Batman, right? So it's like, hey, keep going with the production of everything else. Figure out what the heck's going on with the Batman. But, yeah, keep releasing other figures. So I don't look at this as like a kick in the teeth because I still don't have my Batman. Like, whatever
I don't have my Bruce Wayne,
You know what I mean? It's like, all right, keep moving forward with everything else. But
think about it is being like when they were having the issue where Hot Toys was having the problems with the early batches of a vehicle you had with the Back to the Future 2 DeLorean, because they had to pull back, and obviously it was delayed quite a while for people getting that DeLorean, which was a $800 or $700, $800 vehicle. Did we want them till that was corrected to hold up releasing or getting to people other Hot Toys figures? Of course not. They kept putting the other stuff out. Now, this is a different situation. They were still getting all that stuff where I kind of can understand why people get annoyed a little bit with this, where you're seeing some of these figures because the release method for InArt has been frankly kind of god awful.
It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense that we're seeing this right now when I don't have my Bruce Wayne. You don't have your Pattinson. I don't even have, the first Kit didn't even get his first batch of Harry Potter. He's about to get his first group of Harry Potter. So it's like, it doesn't make sense.
And I didn't get my Aragorn yet.
No, you don't have your Aragorn yet. Like, there's plenty of people still waiting on Aragorn. So it's like, I don't understand. Part of it is like, okay, maybe they're trying to like keep the word out about InArt, get people talking about it. But when you have so many people waiting on product, I feel like that's more important.
And there's no excuse, dude. I'm a customer too, just like everybody else, and I'm pissed.
And we're seeing people seem to having some problems with some of the figures and the early things that people are getting. It's like, hey, are you guys trying to? I mean, sometimes, like you guys have talked about, sometimes it's even though you wait a while, get in a later batch where they may have corrected the QC issues. While you keep pumping out some of these other releases, it looks kind of bad because it seems like each one in early release, not I don't even necessarily mean like we had here with quote influencer batch or whatever you're going to talk about with these, getting a first batch off to people to review online. Like it looks bad because they still haven't put out that many figures, and every release now Hot Toys has problems too, 3.0 whatever, but because they're still relatively new and they don't put out a ton of product.
Hot Toys is right. Hot Toys, and I saw a conversation online, but like someone was mentioning, well, how many Artisan figures has Hot Toys released? And you know, and with all due respect, this isn't
an Artisan figure.
With all due respect, this is sculpted hair, and also they're still struggling to put out the sculpted hair versions. Like Luke Christian makes a point here. It didn't make sense that the people chose the standard sculpt. The sculpted hair should have been done first. I understand they probably want to do the rooted first because that's like their golden child of a product. I get it, but the sculpted hair, pump that out first. Get those units out. Get them into people's hands. As much as I would love to review a figure first for everybody else, what's a better review than to get them in all of your customers' hands and get them talking about it and saying like, hey, this figure is awesome. Like,
and getting one of these out to you fast. Let's say they got you one and you came off and like, I don't know, the head peg for the figure was busted on that. What is that for you to get it early to review? You're going to say, hey, look, I opened it and my head was busted off. The figure or what the, you know, one of the two cape connection points, like part of the cape got torn and connected, like got torn or something in the connection point, and I can't, like, it's literally stuck in there, so I can't switch the capes, and I can't, you know, for having QC issues like that. I think that's where you can make a point for worry about making sure whatever you're late. It doesn't. I think this is also because you're getting, like you talked about, people are waiting 3 figures in. When how many in total have they put out? 6 with this one, or 7 total?
Yeah.
Put up for
Pennywise.
Yeah.
Yeah, which some of them, they're still the earlier ones. There's still people are waiting to get it. But the Joker, I think the thing is, maybe InArt needs to pull back just a tiny bit. Like, I know they're trying to keep up with Hot Toys. You're not going to keep up with Hot Toys is probably putting out too
and
much
like
stuff.
This isn't even like a Lane. I just want to make it clear real quick. Right. This is not like a Hot Toys versus InArt thing. And JB, I know you weren't saying that, but just like to your point, it's just more of an InArt thing. Like, I don't want to see this company fail because they're doing good things when it comes to actually making awesome figures, but their business model right now just needs a lot of work. And I don't have all the answers as to how to fix that. I'll be honest with you. I don't know any of that back end stuff, but somebody there does, and they need to fix it because dude, people are turning on them everywhere. Everywhere you see, their customers are turning on them, and it's like, I don't want to see them fail.
Because they are a niche company. We have to keep, and this isn't just InArt. I mean, Queen Studios for their statue has had problems like this for production with their statues. So this isn't just something that started with InArt working with them. Queen Studios has had their own problems for years.
But that's what I was going to say. Like, it's not a niche, but it's not a niche company, right? Being born from Queen. You would have thought, okay, well, that's a level of security.
Yeah. Well, not because they had their own problems for years.
Right.
So
it's just,
I considered.
And then, like, you know, guys, the rip in the suit, obviously, that looks bad. I'm not going to pretend like my Hot Toys figures don't have QC issues because they do as well. So I'm like, that's obviously, I don't know. If I was in art, I would have been like, shit, this one's going to Jetta Patrol. Let's make sure this one's good. But,
but there's like a spotlight on them because they have so few product put out right now. That's kind of the thing. And.
No, you're right.
Even in comparison to Hot Toys, not maybe. I think Cavill was actually a good price point for him. But a lot of their figures, and I'm speaking for rooted guys, not their like sculpted stuff.
Dude, like
their price point is higher, man. I mean, like, wasn't Harry Potter like? I mean, now this could be duties.
This one was like $350, I think, Lane. So this
this is reasonable.
This one's very fairly priced.
But
I want to say
Hot Toys figures.
Yeah, and I want to say, like, this sculpt looks friggin' awesome.
Yeah. I'm not
this
doubting
looks
how good
great.
their stuff is. Their stuff is very well made. Once you got it, and you know, plenty of their figures have come out great. Like a lot of those get it done. But it feels, I guess I would just say for InArt right now, because they seem to, and they might be. I'm not in there. I haven't talked to John or whatever. I'm not sitting in the boardroom or in like the production part of the thing saying, hey, we got this stuff going on at their offices and stuff working as an employee in there. But they seem to be having a lot of little nicks here and there, like repeated things where hands are falling off because the magnet joints don't work right, and not all of them, but there seem to be little, the death by 1,000 cuts things seem to be having to InArt here and there, and we want them to succeed because, as we always say, having a thing like I worry InArt if they keep having their problems. We're seeing, like, we talk and make fun of for Kojin how much they're charging for a lot of their figures and stuff, which is really super crazy high end. But what if their stuff comes out where they don't have some of the QC issues and stuff, where over time InArt could lose some of that ground? I think we want that. Could we kind of want them to lose the middle
Lane,
ground?
I'd probably that was a bad comparison. I'd probably rather have like the InArt Harry Potter with QC issues over whatever the.
Well, I know. I'm just saying though, but I'm saying
Yeah.
but I'm saying around higher end, really much more higher end collectibles.
Well, I'm gonna put it.
InArt. We want InArt as that medium between where you.
I'll put it this way, Lane.
And then whatever insanity Kojin is doing.
I'm gonna put it this way. I've been very happy with every figure I've received from InArt, and again, I want to say this very clearly. I do not want them to fail.
No,
I don't. We need companies like InArt to feed us collectors doing different stuff and offering different levels of quality on things. Like, we need companies like InArt, and it's just they're experiencing a tremendous amount of growing pains right now that I would have expected would have been worked out by now, at least with the shipping side of things. At first with the Joker, with the Joker, we expected, like, okay, they oversold those Jokers because, that they were a smash hit. They sold a crap ton of them. We kind of understood the production delays with that, because we're like, okay, they're getting that startup money. We get it. But it's like, now that it's like trickling over into all the other releases, it's, customers are hurt. That's truly, they're angry, but they're also hurt. They're like, you promised me all this and I'm still waiting. I'm seeing all these photos and videos of these figures. I want them. I get it, guys. And I also knew, like, if InArt did send me a figure early, I knew people would be pissed off at me for it. Like, and I understand it. I can't say that I don't understand it, because I do. Because you guys are paying the same money as everybody else. And Hot Toy Collector, I can't speak on YouTubers paying less money. I thought that all of them paid full retail, as far as I can't speak on, like, Justin, because, he's such a big channel. Maybe they just send it to him. I don't know. But as far as I know, the YouTubers I've talked to that get the figures early, they pay full retail. That's all I can say on that. But I've never been offered anything for free. Never. I mean, I know I'm a much smaller channel than, like, Jetta or Justin or anything, but I've never been offered anything for free.
I think even sometimes if they were trying to do we're not having to worry about payment stuff. If they're concerned, like, people are paying less or whatever, they paid $300, I paid $500 or $350 or whatever. Sometimes I kind of wish maybe they would do it where, okay, if they're going to have review style versions of these figures, they have a certain number of them, they'll send them out for reviews, but they're after they've been reviewed and everything, they have to be shipped or sent back to the company or something like that. Kind of some, not exactly, it's not the same thing, but like when the first looks are done for Sideshow, those are done, they're sent to someone, they do up the video, they get a handle the figure, see it, get it done up, put the video out, and then send it back. These,
as far as I know, Lane, and I'm not going to mention a particular name of someone who gets figures early, but I chat with the guy, he's a cool dude.
Yeah.
He pays for the figures. He pays for them. I don't think he gets any sort of discount. It's just more so InArt's like, hey, we like what you do.
I just think maybe something like that might be an idea to do instead, where I think sometimes that creates some of the early release vitriol, and people would still probably be annoyed somewhat too, but there might be a little bit less to it, where there's not the thought processing that it's this person paid less, and that also prevents ire at the person who's actually doing the video review, live unboxing, or whatever.
And that's kind of like what Terry was saying, because I had the same experience. When I saw this popping up, these early reviews, I was like, oh, sweet. And then immediately I was like, well, it won't be in my hands for a year. That's a bummer.
Yeah. That's what everybody had with Aragorn. I was like, I went because, like, for Kit, I did, after I probably had some cancellations, I did my pre-order. I said, well, when everybody gets their first thing, I'll see it like, 10 months after that or something.
Honestly, with InArt having their own YouTube channel now, I feel like they could just make a first look video and call it a day.
Don't they do that?
Well, no, because they put up their first look video and then 4 other reviews got posted in the same day by other people.
Oh, well, okay.
Yeah.
I don't see.
Yeah, and these videos are like, hey, do you want to cancel
like
or
that?
not?
Do you like
because they're all sold out.
Do you like how that works with how punching into the back of the gavel, just actually speaking and seeing how that
It's
works?
actually not as bad as I thought it would be. Like, I don't
agree.
hate it because I like that it's like in a spot where there's less pressure on the zipper. And I kind of think it's pretty smart engineering. So I don't hate it. Guys, I don't hate this figure. I think he looks awesome. He might not be 100% accurate, and they didn't change the things that people pointed out, like the colors on the suit and everything. I still think he looks great. It's not a debate of whether this figure looks bad. I would have loved, like I said, I would have loved to have had this figure early and been able to show it to you guys. But it hurts me to see all of my friends so pissed and upset that they can't get their stuff. And I'm like, well, that's something needs to change. Because I totally understand these figures are very expensive, whether it's Hot Toys or InArt, it doesn't matter. Like, and you know, seeing a video up of it and then 6 months later you get yours, I understand why it's frustrating. I totally get it. And you're just like thinking to yourself as a collector, like, where's the disconnect? I don't think any of us can dispute that InArt does fantastic work. You know, the tear in the suit, that's obviously, that sucks, but Hot Toys has QC issues too. I've experienced a lot of QC issues with Hot Toys, so I'm not going to harp on the QC issue with Superman. Everything I've had from InArt, apart from like the broken grenade strand on the grenades with the Joker, everything's been good. I bought a Pennywise secondhand, 0 issues. So it's like, you know, QC happens with every company. I'm not going to harp on that. It's the shipping thing that needs to be addressed because this figure looks great. People are angry because their figures look so good. They want them in a timely manner. Like, that's why people are upset. So, again, guys, I want InArt to succeed. I don't want to sit here and just shit on them all day, but something needs to be done about the shipping stuff, of course. We all agree with that. Something needs to be done. They say they're working on it. They said they're going to address it. We'll see. I don't know. I don't know, guys. It's a frustrating conversation to have because I know how passionate everybody is about it, and yeah, I hope everybody gets their stuff sooner than later. In terms of Harry Potter, if you bought from Kit, I know his first batch is coming up. I pre-ordered that like the second it went up, so hopefully I'll get mine in that first batch. But yeah, guys, that's actually going to wrap it up. Mike, I know you have to dip, but that's perfect time. We're going to wrap it up, guys. If you're watching this on the replay, curious to hear everybody's thoughts, especially on all these exciting announcements this week. Guys, you know, there's a lot of controversial stuff tonight, but we had a fun time. There's a lot of great announcements. I'm sure you guys could see the one that excited me the most, that Samurai Predator. I was just absolutely nerding out about that. I cannot wait to get
great.
that. Of course, guys, there's a little bit of everything for everybody. Don't take our word as law. If you find something interesting, pick it up for your collection. And that's all that matters if you like it. Rusty Bronco says, weird people beat up on Jazz Inc., but Yost can announce 89 Batmobile with QC and shipping it to give people years before InArt. You know, and, you know, I was defending Jazz Inc. in that regard with, like, the test batches because that made more sense to me because, one, Yost delivers on time, and number two, the waitlist was still open. And I didn't make that point on stream, but I, like, thought about it later. I'm like, you know, that the waitlist is still open. So, you know, Yost, I have nothing against Yost right now. He's doing great. He's doing awesome stuff. You know, we had the debacle with the 89, but I'm confident he's going to fix any issues that were addressed because it seems like he has in all of his videos. I got nothing to say.
And his waitlists are legit too. Like, he'll close them when they're closed, but if it's still waitlist, Connor, you know this. Like,
that's how I got my 89.
Yeah, so it's not. I like that it's not just like just up there forever, and you don't even have a chance.
Right, like not like a sideshow waitlist where it's like you have to find it in the warehouse to get it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hello, Artisan Anakin.
But yeah, guys, thank you so much, everybody. What an amazing turnout, guys. What an amazing turnout tonight. We had a great time. Also, guys, I didn't mention it because we were just kind of so sucked into everything else, but the word is that the Cillian Murphy Scarecrow with the head sculpt and that Artisan Harley Quinn are right around the corner. So those will be the last ones on our list from last week, apart from that Tom Hardy, which obviously will...
Are you thinking those are those possibly also for the anniversary?
I don't know. Apparently the word is they're just coming very soon. Those are the words that were used. So, yeah, Jose, you know, Mike and I were having a conversation earlier about that. He got 2 waitlist conversions, and it's like the emotions completely flipped when the second one came in.
I decided to just get them both. Why not?
Yeah, might as well, dude. Yeah, hashtag, yeah, sorry, Luke, we didn't take a look at the photos of the Chocolate Man. I'm really excited to get that one. If you guys didn't see it, it is on the Hot Toys Hotline Facebook group. Mars did update the head sculpt on the Gene Wilder Willy Wonka, so if you guys want to see that, there's also some updates to Gus Fring as well. It's on the Hot Toys Hotline Facebook group. Excuse me. And guys, announcement about the Discord, the Hot Toys Hotline 6-Scale Scallywags Discord. I'm cutting the cord on that just because it didn't take off. We have another Discord that I've owned for many years that did take off. We have a ton of members there. So head on over if you want to talk Hot Toys. We are going to convert the Discord most likely soon to like a general collecting Discord for collecting everything. But that's going to be a bit of a long process. But head on over. The link's in the description and in the chat. Thanks to our boy Big Dog Pound. But guys, thank you everybody for being here, each and every one of you. Thank you to our newest hotline hottie, Valkyrie. I appreciate you, my friend. I appreciate each and every one of you. Hashtag hotline confirmed, guys. You heard it here first. Of course, I'm not putting all my chips in the bag for the Harley, but apparently it's happening. But thank you everybody so much for hanging out with us on this fine Tuesday evening. If you're in the Facebook group, I look forward to chatting with you, or in the Discord. If not, we'll see you next Tuesday evening at 7 p.m. EST.
Thanks, guys.
Take care, everybody. Have a good